Okay, what's going on, everybody? Welcome into a early CobraCast. We have a lot going on. There's a lot to get into. We have a press briefing expected to start any minute now. We have the confirmation hearing for Kash Patel supposed to be starting in about 40, or confirmation vote that's supposed to be happening for Kash Patel starting in about 45 minutes. So we're jumping right into it right now. We're currently waiting for the press briefing to start with the White House, Caroline Leavitt. So we'll see what happens. Hope everybody's doing well today. We have a lot to get to. So how's everybody doing? Good to see all of you here. Gonna be a great day. McCock says, where is Jay? Who is Jay? Why is Jay? That would be the real questions, okay? That would be the real questions. 199 cash now. I like it. 199 cash now. But hope everybody's looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be awesome as well. Let's go. I agree with Jay. Do you really? I think we all agree with Jay. Who is Jay? Why is Jay? Where is Jay? What is Jay? These are the questions we have to ask ourselves. Remember gaming streams? Breaking news, Jay does not use toilet paper. Really? I'm not sure I want to know. I'm not sure I have any further questions on the matter whatsoever. There's no way this is this real? Is this real? This video of Sydney Sweeney, is this real? There's only one way to find out. We have to get a proper 199, and I will then find out if the audience can help me determine if this is actually a real video of Sydney Sweeney. It has 40,000 likes. I don't know. Not sure. I'm going to have to do some investigating, though. I'm going to have to do some investigating to see. King of Grift. Quick, someone sent a 199. All right. Where is, we're waiting for the press briefing to start. And I don't know what she's going to say. I'm sure she's going to have some statements to make. Right now, we also know that Mitch McConnell, Jack Flag says, for a proper 199. Mitch McConnell is retiring. He's not seeking re-election. So that means that Mitch McConnell is going away. That means a seat will open up in, I guess, 2026. So that's good news. I did hear that... what's her name? Who's that? Is Susan Collins? Is that her name? Susan Collins is not going to vote for Kash Patel. So we did get that information. Let's see here. Let me see if I bookmarked that one. Let me see. As we're waiting for the press briefing to start, let me go through my bookmarks really quickly, and we can pull that up. Where is it at? Yeah, so yeah, Susan Collins is not going to vote for Kash. Is a no for Kash Patel for FBI director. Mr. Patel's recent political profile undermines his ability to serve in the apolitical role of director of the FBI. Get fucked. Nobody likes you. She needs to be completely ran out, and I'm sure that will happen now. So I'm sure that will happen. Yeah, that's not really a shocker at all. So, let's see. Where are we at here? Okay. Oh, then you had this clown right here. Listen to this clown.
Judiciary Committee, what crimes it was that he was concerned about that caused him to plead the fifth. Kash Patel, mark my words, will cause evil in this building behind us, and Republicans who vote for him will rue that day.
Stop it. I already supported him. You don't have to convince me. Why are you trying to convince me? I already support him. All this is going to do is make more people want to support him now.
Judiciary Committee what crimes it was that he was concerned about that caused him to plead the fifth. Kash Patel, mark my words, will cause evil in this building behind us, and Republicans who vote for him will rue that day.
We don't care. Oh, that's what we want. We want your version of evil in the FBI building right now, because your version of evil essentially just means he's going to get all the corruption out of there. And that's the bottom line right there. I will say, yesterday I made a tweet. I think I upset some people. And I just want to say, I made this tweet yesterday. Worst scene in comic book movie history, completely disqualifies the entire film. Superman would never let his dad die. F this movie. Got a ton of traction, okay? And I just want to say, to anyone out there, any of the Snyder fans that were upset about this, if it makes you feel any better, I'm also a Trump supporter. So I hope that helps. That I'm trying to calm tensions between us. So I would just like for you to know that I am also a Trump supporter. And I would also like to remind you that since Zack Snyder came onto the stream that we had and denounced Geeks and Gamers, his career has went into the toilet. Zack Snyder has not had a successful film since. So I would just like to remind all the Snyder bots about that real quick. Snyder has made nothing but dog shit since he denounced Geeks and Gamers. So you get what you fucking deserve, Zack Snyder. So there you go. The briefing is on. Is she? Oh, shit.
Eliminated divisive DEI from our federal government, stopped the weaponization of government policy, and backed Kash Patel to be confirmed as the next director of the FBI. We are proud to announce that the president will host his first official cabinet meeting here at the White House next Wednesday, February 26th. In just 4 weeks, President Trump has already hosted the leaders of Israel, Japan, Jordan, and India. And next Monday, the president will host France's President Emmanuel Macron. And on Thursday, the UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer will visit the White House as well. As you all know, over the past month, the president has taken questions from the press, all of you, nearly every single day, sometimes on multiple different occasions in the same day, on any topic any of you wish to talk about. President Trump set the tone on this approach immediately when he took more than 12 times the questions in his first few hours in office, as Joe Biden did in his entire first week. Yesterday, we hosted a local media row here at the White House with television and radio stations from across the country that reached up to 60 million viewers and listeners. In our ongoing pursuit of transparency on this 1 month celebration, I am thrilled to bring 3 of my colleagues and our policy experts here at the White House to further recap this incredible first month of accomplishments in greater detail. We have Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy and Homeland Security Advisor Stephen Miller, the Director of the National Economic Council, Kevin Hassett, and our National Security Advisor, Mike Waltz. I will hand it over to them. They will deliver brief remarks on the accomplishments of this administration in the first month, and then we will open it up to Q&A. When we open up the Q&A portion, I do ask, for the sake of efficiency in this room, that you direct your question to the principal you seek an answer from, and I will call on you in this room. But first, I will let them roll through their remarks. And first up, I'll turn it over to Stephen Miller.
Thank you. It's great to be back. And I want to just thank you all for joining today, our 1 month celebration of the most historic opening to a presidency in American history.
Hell yeah.
No president comes close to what Donald Trump has achieved over just the last 30 days. He has packed 8 years of transformative action, restoring this nation, restoring our laws, restoring fairness, restoring economic opportunity, restoring national security in just 1 month. No one in this country has ever seen anything like it. And when you look at the consequentiality and the significance and the transformative nature of the actions he's taking, it truly defies description. For example, in just one area, this nation has been plagued and crippled by illegal discrimination, diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. It's strangled our economy. It has undermined public safety. It has made every aspect of life more difficult, more painful, and less safe. He has ended all DEI across the federal government. He has terminated all federal workers involved in promulgating these unlawful policies. He has ended diversity, equity, and inclusion in all federal contracting. He has restored merit as the cornerstone of all federal policy, restored the full, fair, impartial enforcement of our federal civil rights laws for the first time in generations. And he has cracked down on individuals across this government and nonprofits who have engaged in illegal racial discrimination against the American people. This includes to every educational institution in this country that ending diversity, equity, and inclusion, ending unlawful race discrimination is a precondition of receiving federal funds. He has also saved women's sports by ending the participation of men in women's sports. He has ended radical gender ideology across the entire federal government, and he's pressured the private sector to also end and combat radical gender ideology. He's reestablished the scientific and biological truth that there are only two sexes in this country, male and female, that those are biologically based determinations. They are not based and can never be based on gender identity. That includes rooting out of the Department of Defense all DEI policies, all critical race theory, all gender madness. And once again, having a military that is focused solely and exclusively on readiness, preparedness, and lethality. As I'm sure Kevin will talk about more, of course, he has undertaken a historic cost-cutting effort across the federal government, launching the first ever Department of Government Efficiency, uncovering corruption on a scale that we never thought imaginable, terminating every single federal worker that we have found to be engaged in the corruption and theft and the waste of taxpayer dollars, and already saving $50 billion in a single year, which over a 10-year period would be $500 billion. Just think about how vast and enormous that sum is. Of course, as you all know, he has renamed the Gulf of Mexico to its correct and proper name, the Gulf of America. He has renamed Mount Denali into Mount McKinley, part of a historic effort to restore patriotism and national pride all across this land. He has ended the weaponization of the federal government, restored the Department of Justice to its true mission of combating threats to this nation and keeping the American people safe. He has ended all federal censorship of free speech. This has been one of the greatest crises that has plagued this nation. Years and years and years of the federal government violating the First Amendment to take away Americans' right of free speech. President Trump has ended that, and he has demanded that all federal workers, all law enforcement cease any effort to intimidate the rights of Americans or to police their speech. He has also restored the death penalty at the Department of Justice, including for illegal aliens who commit murder, including for those who murder cops, and including for all of those who threaten Americans with heinous acts of violence. The death penalty is back. Law and order is back. The streets are being made safe once again. On the public health front, he has launched the nation's first ever commission, the MAHA Commission, Make America Healthy Again, following the historic confirmation of RFK Jr., to finally uncover the true root causes of the public health crisis in this country, the childhood disease epidemic in this country, the spiraling rates of pediatric cancer, and devastating childhood sickness. He has finally created a situation where the federal health agencies in this country will be focused on preventing disease, on keeping children from getting sick in the first place, not sending them to a lifetime in and out of hospitals, suffering needlessly, when we can find ways to prevent this epidemic of illness. Then, of course, on Homeland Security. Today, it is officially the law of the land at the conclusion of the congressional notification process that 6 Mexican cartels and 2 transnational gangs, Tren de Aragua, or TDA, and MS-13, so 8 organizations in total, are now formally designated as foreign terrorist organizations.
Yes.
Which means that every single member of those organizations who operates on U.S. soil is now, as a legal matter, a terrorist, and they will be treated as terrorists. This is a sea change in U.S. policy. And this means the Department of Justice and the Department of Homeland Security, along with the rest of U.S. law enforcement and the Department of Defense, are now operating in a legal reality where these cartels are recognized as terrorists. And there will be a whole of government effort to remove these terrorists from our soil and to degrade their ability to threaten or undermine any American security or sovereignty interests. Border crossings, since the day he took office, are down 95%. I think it's almost impossible to even describe the scale and scope of that achievement. President Trump, within days of taking office, cut border crossings 95%. And those few who have dared to cross are being either prosecuted or deported. They're either facing significant jail time for trafficking, smuggling, harboring, aiding, impeding, or they're being immediately removed from our soil. Either way, at the end of the process, they are going home. He's re-implemented Remain in Mexico, and he has obtained historic cooperation from foreign countries all around the world in accepting their deportees back. And he has used the United States military to fully seal the southern border with a historic deployment of both active duty and National Guard troops, resumed the building of infrastructure. He has opened up Guantanamo Bay, and he's using military aircraft to carry out deportations all across this country. And ICE is joining with ATF, DEA, and FBI to carry out the largest deportation operation in American history. The criminals are going home. The border is sealed shut. America is safe, sovereign, proud, and free. We are a nation that everyone in the world understands all across this planet. You do not come here illegally. You will not get in. You will go to jail. You will go home. You will not succeed. This is the biggest and most successful change in any area of law enforcement that this nation has ever seen, and he did it in under 1 month. Thank you.
Let's go. Stephen Miller on fire.
Well, thank you, Caroline.
How you going to follow that?
One of the things that President Trump cares most about is job creation. And it was about 7 years ago, I had the honor of joining you in this room for the first time. And it looks like we've created a lot more jobs in the last month. Look at how many people are here. My estimate is about 180, but I didn't count. So thank you. It's really an honor to be back here. I think that I just want to go over a few things and then hand it off to Mike. The first thing is that the president has told us to prioritize fighting inflation. And he had to do that because, as you know, President Biden let inflation get completely out of control. And he did it with policies that made no sense. They made no sense. A lot of times people say to us, our friends, the journalists, why are you doing that? But I like to think, why did they do that? Why did they spend so much money? And then why did the Fed print so much money so that we had inflation as high as we've ever seen since Jimmy Carter? So why did they do that? So we're addressing inflation. We didn't have to address it in the first term because it was always in the ones, almost always. But we're going to get it back there. And how are we doing it? Well, we're doing it with a plan.
Since this guy's a little boring, I do want to go to the Cash Senate hearing because this guy is losing his mind right now over Cash tweets
of former Vice President Cheney. It's a pretty gross image to be cutting the heads off of people with a saw. And he didn't put it up, but he retweeted it. He loved it so much that he put it up on his own media. Things like that are not appropriate.
Yes, they are.
They're bizarre for just a normally weird person, but for an abnormally weird person to be the director of the FBI, things are going to go bad. Be warned. He is also a completely sycophantic suck-up when it comes to Donald Trump.
Yes.
He wrote children's books in which King Donald rules,
yes.
And his loyal little functionary, Cash, brings justice to him, pursuing the slugs of the FBI. Really? When the FBI is asked to investigate corruption in Trump world, do you think Cash Patel will rise to the occasion, or do you think he'll participate in a cover-up? All you have to do is look at his own conduct and his own history. This is not Democrats saying this. What we're doing is relating what he has said and what he has done. This is Cash Patel on Cash Patel.
You got more?
He spread the really abhorrent lie.
Got Tim Pool's name on it.
That federal law enforcement was behind January 6th. On one of the many podcasts and interview shows where he spewed so much disinformation and partisan vitriol, He was asked, looks like you have a preponderance of evidence suggesting there may have been federal law enforcement involved in making
8
January 6th
o'clock,
happen.
let's go!
Patel's response, I'll get you to beyond a reasonable doubt. Beyond a reasonable doubt, he believed and said federal law enforcement agencies were behind January 6th. We know that is preposterous. We know that is false.
We got a
We
Nerdrotic
know that
raid.
investigations have shown that none
What
of
up?
that is
What up,
even
Nooners?
remotely true. That is completely false information. And yet,
Hail
here
Gary.
he is spouting it, and that's what he's going to look like as FBI director, too. The FBI is going to have to appear before judges and convince judges of the probity of the agency, of the legitimacy of the
Stop it.
agency.
We
of the
already
propriety
supported
of the
him.
investigation, that
We already
the department
supported
has
the
done a
guy.
fair job of marshaling the evidence. Here's what he says about judges.
Hail to the
We got to
Nooners.
start impeaching judges if they've ruled against Donald Trump.
I agree.
They were a political terrorist, in his view.
I agree.
Any case that Donald Trump's been charged in, almost every judge is handling this thing as if they were not a judge, but a political terrorist. And of course, he meant the Trump judge down in Florida as the only one accepted. When you start talking about judges that way, you can't then expect judges not to pay attention when you come before them trying to do the work of the FBI. Then there's the question of what his former colleagues have said about him. These are things that he said himself. What have his former colleagues said about him? Every single one a Trump appointee. John Bolton, National Security Advisor. I didn't think he was qualified. I was forced to hire him. Political pressure jammed him into the job, and Bolton said, I don't want any part of this guy. I was forced to hire him. The Attorney General Bill Barr. They tried to force him on Bill Barr as deputy director.
That
of the
makes
FBI.
him more
And he
qualified
said
than
Patel
anybody
had
that's
virtually
ever
no
led
experience
it.
that would qualify him to lead the FBI, and said, over my dead body does he get that job. These are the job recommendations of his own colleagues that show his unfitness. Over at the CIA, they tried to stuff him in someplace. And the director of the CIA, Gina Haspel, I'm no friend of Gina Haspel, but here's what she said about him. If he came over, she would resign before allowing Patel to assume a position as her deputy. This is
Okay.
a guy who has a record
That makes us happy.
of engagement with Trump appointees that show that he is not qualified, not capable, and somebody that they would resign before they'd let work for them. And now we're supposed to let him work for the American people? It is ridiculous. He testified once in state court on a Trump-related case, and his testimony was, to put it mildly, not convincing. Here's what the judge said. The court finds that Mr. Patel was not a credible witness. His testimony is not only illogical, but completely devoid of any evidence in the record. Okay, people come into court, they lie, the court doesn't believe their nonsense, and statements like this happen all the time in court. But here's where they don't happen. They don't happen with federal law enforcement agents. Because when I was the U.S. attorney in Rhode Island, if one of my FBI agents had gone over into the United States,
Thank you for the raid over on Rumble,
and
Gary.
testified
Appreciate
in
you,
a
man.
criminal case in such a way that one of the United States district judges said about that witness, he was not a credible witness. His testimony was illogical.
Thank you for the
devoid of evidence
5.
in the record. We'd be looking into that. This comes darn close to being what is called giglio material. Material that the government is forced to disclose to future defendants when it bears on the credibility of a government witness, an agent who is a government witness. People lose their careers over giglio material. This, if he was an FBI agent, would have caused a response in headquarters to say, what the hell is going on? How did one of our people get involved in such flagrantly fake testimony that he was called out by the judge in the case like this? And this is the person that they want to put in charge of the organization, whose probity and whose professionalism and whose integrity are essential to the successful
we
working
already
of the organization.
supported him.
And the guy was
Stop
basically
trying to
called out as a
convince
liar and a
us.
fraud in plain court. This guy is a hot mess.
Exactly.
And when you have a character like this that
Exactly,
lies
he
in court,
is.
that runs chainsaw memes about your opponents, that every person who he tried to work with who was senior in the Trump administration said, get this bum out of here. I don't want to be anywhere near him. That's a record. And you all, my Republican friends who are going to vote on this guy, when he gets there and he does what his character tells us he will do, don't think this isn't going to come back to haunt you. And by the way, don't think that his Trump servience as FBI director won't turn on you. Just because he's a vitriolic partisan who despises Democrats doesn't mean that when Trump's ire moves someplace else to Republican office holders, he won't be there to deliver the FBI as an enforcer against you. So there's a lot to be concerned about. I'll close with this. Never before in the history of American law enforcement has somebody sought to attain a high position in American law enforcement who has pled the Fifth Amendment. Not only did he plead the Fifth Amendment, but he refused to tell the committee what it was all about. You can't plead the Fifth unless you have a reasonable expectation that could put you in jeopardy of a crime. What crime? How in jeopardy? Explain that. You're not just a normal person. You're trying to be the head of the FBI. In a civil case, pleading the Fifth entitles the judge to instruct the jury to draw an adverse interest about your testimony.
It's amazing how these clowns suddenly have standards for all of these positions, but whenever it was Biden's cabinet and all these trans weirdos and leftist freaks, they had no standards.
About why the guy who wants to be the head of the FBI pled the Fifth? It is an unprecedented, terrible situation. With that, I yield the floor.
So he just showed a bunch of cash memes. And again, if you guys missed it, let me show you the rant that he went on about cash memes. Right here. He was upset about cash memes, and it really bothered him.
Running the FBI. Just a few simple examples. This is from his book that contains called Government Gangsters, and this is a page of his enemies list. Well, Attorney General Bondi said nobody should come to a law enforcement job with an enemies list. So then they had to pretend that this was not an enemies list. Well, of course it's an enemies list. Here's what Kash Patel himself says about it. Names named, roadmap unveiled. The manhunt starts tomorrow.
Yeah!
If you're going to set up a manhunt against people, are they not your enemies by any logical definition of the term? He goes on to a video that shows himself chainsawing off the heads of the people on his enemies list, including the handsome junior senator from California and the daughter of former Vice President Cheney. It's a pretty gross image to be cutting the heads off of people with a saw. And he didn't put it up, but he retweeted it. He loved it so much that he put it up on his own media.
So yes, please give us cash now. Give us cash now. All right, let's go back. Here we go.
Room today. John, we'll let you kick it off. And as I said at the top, please direct your question to the individual up here who you'd like an answer from. John, why don't you begin?
All right, thank you very much. I am sitting in for a thriving ecosystem of journalists, independent and emerging news organizations who depend on X for publicity, for a business model. And so I look forward to seeing many of them in this seat in months and years to come. I also thank you, Caroline, for opening this seat up to new media. It really is a testament not only to your open-mindedness, but also to innovation.
Just ask a question.
About, folks that are not traditionally credentialed to be in this room, and not only have a question, but also to witness. This is a very important intersection of power and the free press. And so just the ability to witness this and be part of it, it brings everybody's game up. So I think this is from my
She's
questions
tired
about
of
Ukraine. Sure. For about more than 10 years, I've been fascinated, like many, with what's going on. Was in Northern Europe.
What's going on with this feed?
Working out of the Baltics when Crimea was annexed.
What?
And was a lot of this came on Twitter. The platform used to be known as Twitter.
What just happened?
A lot of European leaders would talk about their disappointment
Matrix
and solidarity with Ukraine. But when it came to actually doing something, it felt like they were
Where'd she go?
Potato and sent it over the Atlantic. I wonder how much of what we're seeing right now out of the administration of President Trump is a call to Europe and the European leaders and the allies that we've traditionally had to pick up that hot potato and start doing something a little bit more concrete to win and preserve the peace in Ukraine. The second question I have is
what? I don't even remember the first question at this point.
There's been a lot of speculation that President Trump and the administration might be manipulated by Vladimir Putin. I wonder if you can just talk a little bit about the administration's posture.
Bro, you ran her off.
And the competence of this administration to go toe to toe with Vladimir Putin.
Well, I'll take the second question first. If there's anybody in this world that can go toe to toe with Putin, that could go toe to toe with Xi, that could go toe to toe with Kim Jong-un, and we could keep going down the list. It's Donald J. Trump. He is the deal maker in chief. There is no question that he is the commander in chief. And I, for one, and I think all Americans and around the world should have no doubt about his ability to not only handle Putin, but to handle the complexity of driving this war to an end. And then on your first piece on Europe, I'll take you back to 2014. You're right. There was a lot of hand-wringing in Europe and not a lot of action. There's also a lot of hand-wringing here in Washington under the Obama administration and not a lot of action. They literally threw blankets at the problem. And so I'll remind everyone that Putin had some type of conflict, invasion, or issue with their neighbor under President Bush with Georgia, under President Obama with Ukraine 2014, not under President Trump 45, and again with President Biden in 2022. The war should have been deterred. The war should have never happened. And I have no doubt it would not have happened under President Trump and will stop under President Trump again. But I just want to push back on this notion of our European allies not being consulted as we've entered into this process. I already mentioned the immediate phone call President Trump made to President Zelensky. He has talked to President Macron of France repeatedly last week. President Macron convened European leaders and then is coming here on Monday. Prime Minister Starmer is coming next Thursday. I've talked to every one of my national security advisor counterparts across the spectrum in Europe. I've talked to Secretary General Rutte, the leader of NATO, the Secretary General of NATO.
I saw someone said to Cash get the vote. The vote is happening reportedly in about the next 10 minutes. I'm keeping an eye on everything. So the report apparently is happening, or the vote is happening in the next 10 minutes.
However, we've also made it clear for years, decades even, that it is unacceptable that the United States and the United States taxpayer continues to bear the burden, not only of the cost of the war in Ukraine, but of the defense of Europe. We fully support our NATO allies. We fully support the Article 5 commitment. But it's time for our European allies to step up. And one of the things that Secretary General Rutte said on our call was, this last couple of weeks have been a real wake-up call. And I asked him, what have you been missing the last couple of years? The fact that we are going to enter into a NATO summit this June with a third of our NATO allies still not meeting the 2% minimum, a commitment.
All right, while he's talking, I want to share this. This happened earlier. The Zelensky government has blocked Trump's True Social network across Ukraine. Now, Zelensky apparently is the most unbelievable leader in the history of the world, according to the left in Hollywood. But to normal people, he's a fucking evil dictator. That's exactly what he is. But according to the left, Trump is the dictator and Zelensky is the wonderful leader who loves his people, yada, yada, yada. It's such bullshit.
Peter.
Thank you, Caroline. I have a Ukraine one and a Doge one. Who can talk Doge? All of us. Well, so Stephen, we're hearing about these Doge dividend checks that would be 20% back to taxpayers, 20% to pay down the debt. 60% is left. Who gets that?
Well, the way that it works is when you achieve savings, you can either return it to taxpayers, you can return it to our debtors, or it can be cycled into next year's budget, and then it just lowers the overall baseline for next year. So in other words, you can just transfer it into the next fiscal window and then lower the overall spending level. And that means you have a permanent savings that way, and that reduces the deficit.
And when is it that people might see those checks?
Well, this is all going to be worked on through the reconciliation process with Congress that's going underway right now. As you've seen, the Senate's moving a bill, the House is moving a bill. The president has great confidence in both chambers to deliver on his priorities. I would just take this opportunity to note that President Trump has made a historic commitment to the working class of this country to fight for major tax relief and major price relief. And cutting taxes is the key to delivering on both of those promises, and President Trump is resolutely committed to doing both.
Thank you. And on Ukraine, I guess this is for Mike.
Sure.
After the president's post on Truth Social yesterday, need to know, who does he think is more responsible for the Russian invasion of Ukraine, Putin or Zelensky?
Well, look, his goal, Peter, is to bring this war to an end, period. And there has been ongoing fighting on both sides. It is World War I style trench warfare. His frustration with President Zelensky is that you've heard is multifold. One, there needs to be a deep appreciation for what the American people, what the American taxpayer, what President Trump did in his first term, and what we've done.
Here, I'll answer it. It doesn't fucking matter. President Trump just wants it to end. It doesn't really matter who he holds responsible. You know who he ultimately holds responsible, Peter? He holds the Biden administration responsible for allowing this to happen. Because as you know, that under President Trump, that's the only president that Vladimir Putin didn't have some type of conflict under, because President Trump kept everyone in line. So the reality is he blames President Biden and the Biden administration. That is what the true answer is. And I will say this on the $5,000 checks, which is the rumor, getting the 20% back to the United States. How about keep all of that and just abolish the IRS? Keep all the money and just abolish the IRS. I think that's a win across the board. You keep all the Doge money. Don't send that 20% out to you, the United States taxpayers, and just abolish the IRS and call it a day.
That have occurred. So, rather than enter into some constructive conversations about what that deal should be going forward, we got a lot of rhetoric in the media that was incredibly unfortunate. And I could just tell you, Peter, as a veteran, as somebody who's been in combat, this war is horrific. And I think we've lost sight of that, of the literally thousands of people that are dying a day, families that are going without the next generation. And I find it kind of, frankly ridiculous. So many people in Washington that were just pounding the table for a ceasefire in Gaza are suddenly aghast that the president would demand one and both sides come to the table when it comes to Ukraine, a war that has been arguably far greater in scope and scale, and far more dangerous in terms of global escalation to U.S. security.
And I do have one for Caroline. Does President Trump have a bet with Trudeau about this USA-Canada hockey? And when there is a big hockey game on, is the president watching for the goals or for the fights?
Probably both. I think he's watching for the United States to win tonight. I know he talked to the USA hockey team this morning. He talked to the players after their morning practice around 10 o'clock. And I also spoke to some folks from that team after. They were jubilant over President Trump's comments to the team. I believe they're going to put out a video of that call. So he looks forward. We look forward to the United States beating our soon-to-be 51st state, Canada. Bloomberg, go ahead.
51st state, let's go!
Can you give us a readout of Kellogg's meeting with Zelensky that just wrapped up? And in particular, Zelensky publicly rejected this deal about the rare earth minerals. Where does that stand?
Well, we're going to continue to have, he needs to come back to the table, and we're going to continue to have discussions about where that deal is going. Again, we have an obligation to the taxpayer. I think an opportunity. The president thinks this is an opportunity for Ukraine going forward. There can be, in my view, nothing better for Ukraine's future and for their security than to have the United States invested in their prosperity long term. And then a key piece of this has also been security guarantees. Look, the reality that we're talking about here is it in Ukraine's interest? Is it in Europe's interest? It certainly isn't in Russia's interest or in the American people's interest for this war to grind on forever and ever and ever. So a key part of his conversation was helping President Zelensky understand this war needs to come to an end. This kind of open-ended mantra that we've had under the Biden administration, that's over. And I think a lot of people are having a hard time accepting that. And then the other piece is there's been discussions from Prime Minister Starmer and also President Macron about European-led security guarantees. We welcome that. We've been asking Europe to step up and secure its own prosperity, safety, and security. So we certainly welcome that. And we certainly welcome more European assistance. As I told my counterparts, come to the table with more if you want a bigger seat at the table. And we've been asking for that for quite some time.
Well, yeah, Jeremy is right. Keep the pennies, abolish the IRS. Yeah, I know. I saw a lot of people saying, oh, that's a rich man's take. Well, first of all, I'm not rich. Secondly, no, it's a smart man's take. Because if you think $5,000 versus abolishing the IRS would be a win for you, like getting rid of the IRS, you're going to make a lot more than $5,000 over the next 5 years if you get rid of the IRS. That $5,000 means nothing. So the point is if you can just keep that $5,000 per American and get rid of the IRS right now, you're going to make a lot more fucking money in the long run. So just please be smarter. Please, TikTok kids, please understand. That is a smart man's take, not a rich man's take. Jesus Christ. These people can't think for shit.
It's common sense in foreign policy world. They call it shuttle diplomacy. We have to talk to both sides in order to get to both sides to the table. And both sides have said only President Trump could do that.
Deanna.
Thank you. And my question is for Mike Waltz.
All right.
The president has called Zelensky a dictator. Does he view Putin as a dictator? And does he want Zelensky out of power? I know he's called for elections. And then thirdly, the head of the Defense Committee in Ukraine's parliament just has claimed that the U.S. has stopped selling weapons to Ukraine. Is that true?
Well, most of our weapons that have gone to Ukraine have been part of a drawdown authority where we've literally taken them out of our stocks and then eventually through appropriations started buying them again.
I feel like I'm talking to children right now. $5,000 versus abolish the IRS. Didn't realize we had to choose one or the other. I want both or else. If you get that $5,000 before the IRS is abolished, you get taxed on the $5,000. God damn it. How is this hard to understand? If they give you $5,000 right now, you're taxed on the $5,000 as long as the fucking IRS exists. You're not getting $5,000. Do you not understand how corrupt the fucking IRS is?
The answer. Look, President Trump is obviously very frustrated right now with President Zelensky. The fact that that he hasn't come to the table, that he hasn't been willing to take this opportunity that we have offered. I think he eventually will get to that point, and I hope so very quickly. But President Trump is, as we made clear to our Russian counterparts, and I want to make clear today, he's focused on stopping the fighting and moving forward. And we could argue all day long about what.
Look, I know. I'm sorry. Let me apologize. Not everyone is from Alabama and their parents are brother and sister. I'm obviously operating on a higher level.
Stephen, I can start with you. There have been reports that Trump is unhappy with the rate of deportations and he wants them to be higher. Is the president happy with the rate of deportations? And are there any plans to speed up the process?
Well, first of all, we all appreciate the from the media to deport as many illegal aliens as humanly possible. So thank you. And I will promise you that the full might of the Department of Homeland Security, the Department of Justice, the Department of Defense, and every element and instrument of national power will be used to remove with speed all criminal illegals from the soil of the United States of America, to enforce final removal orders, and to ensure that this country is for American citizens and those who legally belong in this country. We inherited an ICE that was completely shuttered. We inherited a Department of Homeland Security whose sole mission was to resettle illegal aliens within the United States of America.
What's up,
In 30
Dad?
days, the president sealed the border shut, declared the cartels to be terrorist organizations, has increased ICE deportations to levels not seen in decades, and we are shortly on the verge of achieving a pace and speed of deportations this country has never before seen. Thank you.
And Mike, there have been reports that there's some underground opposition to Trump's pick for Undersecretary of Defense and Policy, Elbridge Colby. Have you or anyone from the administration been personally lobbying senators to support Elbridge Colby?
Look, I've worked with Bridge Colby in the past. He has the president's full support to be the Undersecretary of Policy, which will be a critical policy arm for Secretary Hegseth going forward that will implement all these. And really, that's been to the extent of it. I think there's been a lot of kind of, breathless, back and forth in the press, but we're full speed ahead to get the president's team in place so we can implement his America First policy.
Thank you. Mike has spoken pretty extensively. Does anybody have questions for Stephen or for Mr. Hassett? Nobody wants to talk about the economy? Sure. IRS? Okay.
Yes. Ask. Yes.
Either one of you. So we reported, several other outlets have reported that about 3,500 people are due to
Get them gone.
lose their jobs at the IRS by the end of the week. If the goal of these spending cuts across the federal government has been to reduce the debt, why impose some of the deepest cuts we've seen so far at the agency responsible for raising revenue for the federal government?
Well, I think our objective is to make sure that the employees that
Cash
we
is in?
pay are being productive and effective.
What?
And there are many, more than 100,000
I've got
people
this
working.
feed right here pulled up, but I haven't, there's no vote going on right now.
Inspectors general in violation of notice requirements.
This is all we
created
have.
by
I'm
Congress.
juggling a lot right
Unlawful.
now.
Firing government employees.
So
who have
there's no
civil
confirmation
servants-
yet.
Civil service.
The vote
protections
hasn't started yet,
clearly
I don't
unlawful.
think.
And pushing really a quid pro quo order at the Department of Justice to drop charges against a corrupt mayor in New York so he'll accede to whatever the wishes are of the Trump administration regarding local enforcement. And that's only a short list. And we have reached a point where a federal judge has found that the White House defied his order to release billions of dollars in federal grants, marking the first time that a judge has expressly declared that the Trump administration is disobeying a judicial
So I'm keeping
mandate.
an eye on that. I want to go back to this because I want to see if they ask about Howard Lutnick's comments yesterday that Trump wants to abolish the IRS. I want more specifics on that and hear what the administration has to say about it. What? You guys can't hear it? Oh shit! My bad. My bad. My bad. My bad. My bad.
Reduces inflation. And
I'm
if you give
retarded.
people
I'm
money,
sorry.
Then they're going to save a bunch of it. And when they save it, then that also reduces demand and reduces inflation.
Okay, so you're not worried about it. And
No, I'm
Mr.
not.
Bolt, to follow up on Peter's question, you wrote in an op-ed in the fall of 2023 that, quote, Putin is to blame, certainly like Al-Qaeda was to blame for 9/11.
Mhm.
Do you still feel that way now, or do you share the president's assessment as he says Ukraine is to blame for the start of this war?
Well, it shouldn't surprise you that I share the president's assessment on all kinds of issues. What I wrote as a member of Congress was as a former member of Congress. Look, what I share the president's assessment on is that the war has to end. And what comes with that? What comes with that should be at some point elections. What comes with that should be peace. What comes with that is prosperity that we've just offered in this natural resources and economic partnership arrangement, an end to the killing. And European security and security for the world. The president's not only determined to do that in Europe, he's determined to do it in the Middle East.
Yes, you are, James. Yes,
and
you are.
Just a few months ago, we had an administration that had tried for 15 months, week after week, sitting with you here and couldn't get our hostages out. Now we're at that point. We're back to maximum pressure on Iran, and we have just begun, and we will drive towards a ceasefire and all of those other steps. I'm not going to pre-negotiate or get ahead of the sequencing of all of that. It's a very delicate situation, but this is a president of peace, and who here would argue against peace?
Okay, so you do share that assessment. And can I follow up? In 2017,
Go ahead,
then
Jordan.
President Trump.
Go
Can I
ahead,
just follow up
Jordan.
really
Thank
quick?
you.
You
So,
just had 2 questions.
May I
Jordan,
just-
go ahead.
Mr.
I have an
Hassett.
important follow-up. from
Jordan,
my
go
friends.
ahead.
So,
Go ahead.
Mr. Hassett, you were speaking about tariff revenue, and you also addressed a question about the IRS. President Trump has spoken about replacing income tax with tariff revenue, especially with all this waste, fraud,
Yes,
abuse that
yes,
we're seeing cut.
yes.
Is that a possibility?
Absolutely. And in fact, if you think about the China tariff revenue that we're estimating is coming in from the 10% that we just added, plus the de minimis thing, that it's between $500 billion and $1 trillion over 10 years is our estimate. And that's something that is outside of the reductions that markets are seeing through the negotiations up on the Hill. And so we expect that the tariff revenue is actually going to make it much easier for Republicans to pass a bill. And that was the president's plan all along.
Let's go.
Stephen Miller about Doge. So you spoke about Doge. You said roughly $50 billion is set to be cut in a year. Waste, fraud, and abuse by unelected bureaucrats. We're hearing this ironic narrative from the president's critics and the left-wing media that Elon Musk is an unelected bureaucrat and he's doing all this terrible stuff. Isn't one of Doge's objectives to get rid of the federal bureaucracy, the deep state, and also who was running the White House when Joe Biden was in office? Because I don't know a single person who believes it was Joe Biden.
You're tempting me to say the very harsh things about some of our media friends. Yes, it is true that many of the people in this room for 4 years failed to cover the fact that Joe Biden was mentally incompetent and was not running the country. It is also true that many people in this room who have used this talking point that Elon is not elected fail to understand how government works. So I'm glad for the opportunity for a brief civics lesson. A president is elected by the whole American people. He's the only official in the entire government that is elected by the entire nation, right? Judges are appointed, members of Congress are elected at the district or state level, which is one man. And the Constitution, Article 2, has a clause known as the vesting clause, and it says the executive power shall be vested in a president, singular. The whole will of democracy is imbued into the elected president. That president then appoints staff to then impose that democratic will onto the government. The threat to democracy, indeed the existential threat to democracy, is the unelected bureaucracy of lifetime tenured civil servants who believe they answer to no one, who believe they can do whatever they want without consequence, who believe they can set their own agenda no matter what Americans vote for. So Americans vote for radical FBI reform, and FBI agents say they don't want to change. Or Americans vote for radical reform on our energy policies, but EPA bureaucrats say they don't want to change. Or Americans vote to end DEI, racist DEI policies, and lawyers in the Department of Justice say they don't want to change. What President Trump is doing is he is removing federal bureaucrats who are defying democracy by failing to implement his lawful orders, which are the will of the whole American
Stephen Miller's
people.
great. He is great.
Thank you very much, everybody. I'm looking at the clock. We've almost had an hour of time. I know a couple of these individuals have a meeting to get to at 2 p.m. So you're welcome to follow up with my team for further questions. We're going to let these guys get back to running the United States government. And we will see you all later. President Trump will be speaking at 3 o'clock at the Black History Month reception. So thank you. Just good to see you. We'll see you in a bit. Thanks.
Are you watching the Black History Month reception, Mr. Miller?
Stephen, on the applause, should we?
Okay, so now we're going to go over to the floor. Here we go.
Roll.
Ms. Also Brooks, Ms. Baldwin, Mr. Banks, Mr. Barrasso.
All right, so I think we are now at the point, I haven't been listening too closely, but I think we're at the point where we're going to start getting some votes, I think. While we're waiting, let me see if I can find this.
Mrs. Blackburn. Mr. Blumenthal. Ms. Blunt Rochester. Mr. Booker.
Or while we're waiting on that, let's play this right here because you're going to love this. Okay. This is what we're getting ready for. Here we go.
877 cash now. 877 cash now. They help thousands, they'll help you too. One lump sum of cash they will pay to you. If you get long-term payments but you need cash now. Call J.G. Wentworth. 877 cash now. 877 cash now. 877 cash now. 877 cash now.
I fucking love the internet, man. I love the internet so much.
Ms. Cortez Masto. Mr. Cotton. Mr. Kramer. Mr. Crapo. Mr. Cruz.
All right. While we're waiting on this. So back to the IRS thing. Listen, in a perfect world, yes. If you could get the 5K and abolish the IRS, I'm all for that. All I'm saying is you could speed that process up potentially if you go forget the 5K, just abolish the IRS. If we could speed that process up, I personally would be willing to do that because I think that would be better in the long run. But if we could get both, of course, get rid of the IRS first, then get the 5K, and then you don't get taxed on the 5K, 1,000%. That seems a little too perfect. But if that happens, I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
Ms. Hassan. Mr. Hawley. Mr. Heinrich. Mr. Hickenlooper.
Jeremy
Mr.
can send
Rono.
5K on the Cobra chair.
Mr. Hoven.
IRS isn't going anywhere. Take the money and run. I mean, I disagree. I think that Trump is 100% committed to getting rid of the IRS. I do believe that he wants to do that.
Mr. Justice.
I mean, Howard Lutnick even said it last night.
Mr. Kane.
I'll play that clip for you guys. See if I can find it. That was from last night, I believe.
Mr. Kelly. Mr. Kennedy.
Oh, since we did get, I don't know if this is AI or not, but since we did get a proper 199, I'm going to play something for all of you guys.
Mr. King.
I don't know if it's real. There you go.
I'm so happy you love the first drop of my collection of Frankie's bikinis. We have more dreamy pieces coming our way. So tap to sign up for early access so you can get more information.
There you go. There's for your proper 199 right there. Okay. You're welcome.
Mr. Markey. Mr. Marshall. Mr. McConnell. Mr. McCormick. Mr. Merkley. Mrs. Moody. Mr. Moran. Mr. Moreno.
Aye.
Mr. Mullen. Ms. Murkowski.
All right. Here's the clip for Howard Lutnick last night right here. Listen to this.
Think about it. Donald Trump announces the External Revenue Service, and his goal is very simple. His goal is to abolish the Internal Revenue Service and let all the outsiders pay. I mean, this is someone who is focused on
Come
America.
on!
Let's drive down our waste, fraud, and abuse. I'll give you an example. Cruise ships. You ever see a cruise ship with an American flag on the back? They have flags of like Liberia or Panama. None of them pay taxes. None of them pay taxes. Every super tanker, none pays taxes. Alcohol, all foreign alcohol, no taxes. This is going to end under Donald Trump, and those taxes are going to be paid, and Americans' tax rates are going to come down. That's what Donald Trump wants to do. Balance our budget and cut our taxes. I mean, imagine a Democratic senator going against that. What planet are these people on? Think about
That is phenomenal. I was blown away when I heard that. So that is from the Trump administration directly. I would love to hear more information and specifics about that, but even though just getting that is a huge win. Huge.
Mr. Schmidt.
Insane.
Mr. Schumer.
Let me see where we're at. I saw Dan Vask. Guys, let's super chat bad takes on purpose to make this fig mad. What's up, Super Vask 3D? Light Heavy Metal says, or is it Lieutenant Heavy Metal? Jeremy Osteen is on fire. Preach, brother. Thank you. Andy plays games. In all seriousness, clearly no IRS ever is a wiser choice in the long run. I would also choose that. However, this is a mythical fantasy choice that Jeremy just made up 5 minutes ago. No, it's not. No, it's, I just played it from the administration. So there you go. You just heard it here first. And as I said weeks ago, I think Trump 100% wants to. Echo Base Network, what's up?
Mr. Tuberville.
Bro, you and Ripa stuff from the other night had me rolling. Trump supporter, one issue voter. Hey, yeah, man. I'll say this, not towards you, but like a lot of the people that are claiming now that like they like me because I argue with Ripa. All you people that hated me until I like argued with Ripa, and you say now you're a fan of mine, you're literally the people I was arguing against when I was talking to Ripa, single issue voter. If you hated me for all of this time until I argued with, your Eric derangement syndrome, if that's all it took, then you go fuck yourself because you're a single issue voter too. I don't need your support and your love because you've already proven that you have very female tendencies where all you need is one little thing and you're willing to be a fan. Fuck that. Go back, keep hating Eric and whining and crying about him. You're not needed here. So not at all. And I'll keep supporting Ripa and hail the Ripa-verse. And the more you cry, the more I'll support it.
Reno, Paul, Schmidt, Scott of Florida, Tillis, and Young. Senators voting in the negative: Duckworth, Durbin, King, Lujan, Murkowski, Murphy, Padilla, Peters, Sanders, Warner, and Welch. Miss Lotkin, no.
What's up, laughing man? I don't have a vote count yet. I think that they're just calling out right now to get. Let's see, voting's underway. So, okay, Lisa Murkowski just voted against Kash Patel. They're not being very transparent about what's going on, but Lisa Murkowski voted against
Mr. Sheehy, aye.
Kash.
Mr. Schatz, no. Mrs. Moody, aye.
Is it 24-13 right now? Is that where we're at? Okay, so we're at 24-13 right now, I think.
Mr. Crapo, aye.
28-3. 27-14.
Mr. Scott of South Carolina, aye. Ms. Rosen, no.
All right, Hailstorm, keep the tabs updated. Just keep spamming the chat with updates. 27-13. Hailstorm says.
Mr. Tuberville, aye. Mr. Husted, aye. Mr. Johnson, aye. Mr. Risch, aye. Mr. Kelly, no.
So you've got Susan Collins and Murkowski voting no on cash.
Mr. Ricketts, aye.
So if you get
Mr.
McConnell,
Blumenthal, no.
Cash, or McConnell,
Mr.
Collins, and
Daines,
Murkowski, that means Vance has to break
aye.
the tie. Am I right about that?
Mr. Justice, aye.
That'll be fantastic if he has to break the tie. That'll be
no.
fantastic.
Mr. Graham, aye. Ms. Collins, no. Mr. Marshall.
There's Collins.
Mr. Marshall, aye. Ms. Lummis, aye. Mr. McCormick, aye.
Need to go ahead and call Vance and tell him to get ready. Where's Vance at? Do we know where JD Vance is currently right now?
Mr. Schumer, no. Mrs. Gillibrand, no.
RSVN has a vote counter. Hang on.
Mr. Sullivan, aye. Kim, no. Mr. Merkley, no. Mr. Langford,
Where'd it go?
aye.
It was just up, right? Oh, that's not it. Hang on. Here we go.
Mr. McConnell, aye. Mr. Wyden, no.
So 36-21 right now.
Brooks,
right now.
Brooks, no. Mr. Kramer, aye. Ms. Blunt Rochester, no. Mr. Kim,
McConnell voted yes.
no.
So that means
Mr.
it's not going to be a break
Mr.
tie.
Merkley,
Yep.
no. Mr. Langford,
It's over, baby.
Langford, aye.
I don't think McConnell even knows what he's doing right now.
Mr. Kane, no.
Gonna happen. Unless there's a surprise. Turtle power.
Mr. Warnock, no. Ms. Hirono, no.
Turtle power. Mitch staring into dead space as someone moves his finger to vote.
Mr. Booker, no. Mrs. Murray, no. Mr. Heinrich, no.
Get ready.
Ms. Cortez Masto, no. Mr. Rounds, aye. Mr. Moran, Mr. Moran, aye.
Here we go. Let's go.
Mr. Reed. Mr. Thune, aye. Mr. Cornyn, aye. Ms. Warren, no.
Of course.
Ms. Hassan, no. Mr. Ossoff, no.
Fetterman is a no.
Mr. Fetterman, no.
Fetterman's a no.
Ms. Smith, no. Mr. Van Hollen, no. Mr. Markey, no.
I think he's got the votes. Unless there's a surprise, I think he has the votes.
Mr. Coons, no. Ms. Baldwin, no.
Unless, because of McConnell, unless there's a surprise, I think he has this locked up.
Mr. Hickenlooper, no.
Come on, hurry up. Let's go. Well, Susan Collins voted no and Murkowski voted no, but Mitch McConnell voted yes. What did Fetterman voted no? What's the holdup here? Will be 51-47. That's what I'm thinking too. I think it.
Mrs. Shaheen, no.
Stop the count. We don't want to stop the count yet. He's not leading in the moment at the moment. So what is what is taking so long? You would think they'd have better presentation for something like this. As many people that are paying attention to this, you would think they'd have better presentation. I mean, these are the people that are supposed to be taken seriously. And it looks like they're just hanging out, bullshitting.
Mr. Bozeman. Mr. Bozeman, aye. Ms. Klobuchar. Ms. Klobuchar, no. Mr.
Of course,
Hoven. Mr.
Klobuchar.
Hoven, aye.
Today, Junior. It's gonna be like it's gonna be 51-49. That's what we're looking at.
Mr. Schiff. Mr. Schiff, no.
I mean, it's looking good whether he gets confirmed now or if JD has to break the tie. The numbers, if you're using Steiner math, the numbers don't lie, okay? The numbers don't lie. The numbers spell disaster for the Democrats if you're using Steiner math. Vance shouldn't be needed. I agree. He shouldn't be.
Mr. Bennett. Mr. Bennett, no. Mrs. Capito. Mrs. Capito, aye. Mr. Wicker. Mr. Wicker, aye.
It's about to happen, boys. It's about to happen. It's about to happen.
Mrs. Fisher. Mrs. Fisher, aye.
It's about to happen. We're good. I think we're good. You can't hear you. You can hear me, but you can't hear them because they're not saying anything.
Mr. Cruz. Mr. Cruz, aye.
Let's go. I'm ready. Today is cash day. The excitement, you can feel it. Everybody's excited. Our meme king Kash Patel is about to be confirmed. We all hear you. That's the problem. I respect that. I respect that. Laura Loomer tweeted, Trump broke Mitch McConnell. He woke up today, announced he won't be running for re-election, and then he voted yes to confirm Kash Patel. Good turtle. Come on. Let's get this confirmation. Let's go. What are we waiting for? So it's 40. So it's 50-47. You guys have a quicker feed than I do right now. I'm up to speed on this one. So this probably got a slight delay. I don't want to talk over them. I want to hear.
Mr. Mullen, aye.
$49.47.
Mr. Lee, aye.
One more. Steiner math works again, baby. %. Boom. It's confirmed. Kash is in, baby. Kash Patel is confirmed by the U.S. Senate.
Mr. Gallego, no.
Suck it, Democrats. Oh, he's going to go in there and blow the whole thing up, and it's going to be glorious. Here's how we celebrate right here. We're going to wait. We're going to wait. See what they say. And then we got the celebration to play. We got the celebration to play. It's going to be glorious. Woo! I'd love to hear from all of these clowns that have been crying about him all day long. They had a Stop Kash protest earlier today. It's going to be glorious. Look at how amazing this country is with the leadership of President Trump. Let me see. All right. Kash Patel officially confirmed as the director of FBI. The deep state's days are over, ladies and gentlemen.
877 cash now. 877 cash now. They help thousands, they'll help you too. One lump sum of cash they will pay to you. If you get long-term payments but you need cash now, call J.G. Wentworth. 877 cash now. 877 cash now. 877 cash now. 877 cash now.
Yes! It feels so damn good.
Mr. Curtis, aye.
Let's go. It's over, baby. So let's freaking go. Okay, so we've got a bunch of tweets. People are kind of going crazy right now on social media. So here's Benny Johnson. Breaking: Kash Patel has officially been confirmed as director of the FBI. So he is confirmed now. No stopping it now, baby. No stopping it. Here we go. Right here. Breaking: Kash Patel confirmed as the next director of the FBI. It's a rough day for Adam Schiff.
And here you did no diligence to find out whether people you were associating with now the President of the United States in song were convicted of attacking police officers. Is that who we want running the FBI? I want you to turn around. There are Capitol Police officers behind you. They're guarding us. Take a look at them right now. Turn around.
I'm looking at you. You're talking to me.
No, look at them. I want you to look at them if you can, if you have the courage to look them in the eye, Mr. Patel, and tell them you're proud of what you did. Tell them you're proud that you raised money off of people that assaulted their colleagues, that pepper sprayed them, that beat them with poles. Tell them you're proud of what you did, Mr. Patel. They're right there. They're guarding you today. Tell them how proud you are.
That's an abject lie, and you know it.
How
I've
proud you are.
never, ever accepted violence against law enforcement. I've worked with these men and women, as you know,
You
my entire
glorified it in
life,
song,
and I did
Mr.
not
Patel.
make a single dime out of
It in
it.
song. Well, let me.
How about you ask them if I have their backs, and let's see about that
Let me ask
answer.
you this, Mr. Patel.
Let me show you guys something.
If an FBI,
this is who we have in. That's the director of the FBI. Hang on just a minute. Let me mute this. Confirmation is confirmed. And if this doesn't make you happy, then I'm not sure what will, because this right here is glorious.
He goes on to a video that shows himself chainsawing off the heads of the people on his enemies list, including the handsome junior senator from California and the daughter of former Vice President Cheney. It's a pretty gross image to be cutting the heads off of people with a saw. And he didn't put it up, but he retweeted it. He loved it so much that he put it up on his own media. Things like that are not appropriate for an FBI director. They're bizarre for just a normally weird person, but for an abnormally weird person to be the director of the FBI, things are going to go bad. Be warned. He is also a completely sycophantic suck-up when it comes to Donald Trump. He wrote children's books in which King Donald rules, and his loyal little functionary, Cash, brings justice to him, pursuing the slugs of the FBI. Billy, when the FBI is asked to investigate corruption in Trump world, do you think Cash Patel will rise to the occasion, or do you think he'll participate in a cover-up? All you have to do is look at his own conduct and his own history. This is not Democrats saying this. What we're doing is relating what he has said and what he has done. This is Cash Patel on Cash Patel.
So I'll dedicate this one to you, White House.
877 cash now. 877 cash now. They help thousands, they'll help you too. One lump sum of cash they will pay to you. If you get long-term payments but you need cash now, call J.G. Wentworth. 877 cash now. 877 cash now. 877 cash now. 877 cash now.
Let's go. So here it is from Rapid Response 47, confirmed Cash Patel as the 9th director of the FBI. Everything is happening at such an incredible rate right now. Think about context. I talk about this a lot. Whatever it is, I'm going to try to relate to as many people as I can. How many of you were, fans of the Attitude Era back in the day with professional wrestling? And we say, it's never going to be that good again. It's never going to be that great again. How many of you were NASCAR fans back in the day during the 80s and the 90s? And you think it will never be like that again. It will never be that awesome. Remember football in the 80s and the 90s where they could actually tackle? Remember the NBA where there was actually physical play and actually grown-ass men that were competitive, that were playing. Remember how great that was? Remember how amazing video games were back in the day before DLC and overpriced bullshit and incomplete games that needed updates. We all think back on that and we go, man, it was so amazing. I wish we had that again. So the point is, appreciate what we have right now, because we have never in history, at least in our lifetimes, witnessed anything like the Trump administration. We have never seen anything like this, and we're never going to see anything like this again. So appreciate the moment. Don't let this moment slip by without you fully appreciating what we have right now. And you can go back to just a few years ago. We are only 5 years removed from COVID and the lockdowns. They locked down the entire fucking world. They kept people locked in their houses. They kept people from going to see their loved ones. They kept people from going to funerals. They made people get boosters and shots. We are not that far removed from that shit. And here we are now with the Trump administration doing incredible stuff. And it's only going to get better and better as we progress. This really is something special. Really is. And I do believe that this Kash Patel hearing and confirmation, I believe that they held off as long as they could because they probably wanted to cover up as much of the corruption as they could have. But this man right here is walking in. Look at this badass mofo. This man right here is walking into the FBI to clean house. It's over. Love it. So, yeah. Cash only, baby. Cash only. It's going to be glorious. I can't wait. Okay. What up, Yellow Flash? And I know I'm way behind on super chats. Holy crap, you guys. You guys have been insane today. Freeman Free says abolishing the IRS is definitely superior. However, taxpayers at this point would be justified in seizing the assets, pensions, and more to pay all of the fraud and debt. Don't settle for less. That's a fair point. That's a fair point for sure. I 100% agree with that. I mean, look, again, I hope that that we're able to get money from the Doge findings and they abolish the IRS. And if you guys missed that, I want to play it one more time because I do think that that's actually like, I don't know if it's just me, but this Howard Lutnick story is not getting the traction that I thought that it would. Like, it's getting traction, so I don't want to say that it's not. But to me, this is the biggest story in all of politics right here. This is the biggest story in all of politics.
Think about it. Donald Trump announces the External Revenue Service, and his goal is very simple. His goal is to abolish the Internal Revenue Service and let all the outsiders pay.
Can we say that one more time? Can we listen to that one more time?
Service. And his goal is very simple. His goal is to abolish the Internal Revenue Service and let all the outsiders pay. I mean, this is someone who is focused on America. Let's drive down our waste, fraud, and abuse. I'll give you an example. Cruise ships. You ever see a cruise ship with an American flag on the back? They have flags of like Liberia or Panama. None of them pay taxes. None of them pay taxes. Every super tanker, none pays taxes. Alcohol, all foreign alcohol, no taxes. This is going to end under Donald Trump. And those taxes are going to be paid, and Americans' tax rates are going to come down. That's what Donald Trump wants to do. Balance our budget and cut our taxes.
Somebody says wishful thinking. Are you not understanding? This is Howard Lutnick. He's the Commerce Secretary for President Trump. He was just in the Oval Office. He is speaking for President Trump. He's not speaking for himself. He's not speaking out of like hope. He said this man speaks for Donald Trump.
Service. And his goal is very simple. His goal is to abolish the Internal Revenue Service and let all the outsiders pay.
His goal is to abolish the IRS. Now, I said a month ago, maybe a little less than a month ago, but I firmly believe that that's what he wants to do. And I also think he knows how big of a task that is. It's a huge task, and Doge is the key to all of this. Doge has to work. Like, Doge has to continue to uncover all of this fraud and all of this stuff that we've been seeing for a while. That has to happen in order to get us to the point where he can abolish the IRS. That has to happen. And right now, he can do it. He can pull this off. He's got the team. He's got the people. And he's got the support from the American people. He's got everything he needs to pull all of this off. Yellow Flash says the list is coming. Cash is going to release the list, baby. Going to release it. Can't wait. Oh, it's going to be great. Going back to this, if you're just tuning in, Kash Patel has been confirmed as the director of FBI for the Trump administration, and it's awesome. I can't wait. I have seen that song. Yes, I reacted to it the other day. It's really good. So it's a really good song. Everybody's been talking about that song, as a matter of fact. Let's see. Got that one. Chester Wolf, the Griffin says, being a former European citizen, I can honestly say that there are 3 countries everyone in Europe hates. Brussels, the headquarters of the EU, Greece, and Ukraine. Yeah, I mean, Zelensky's messing with Zelensky, and I think Zelensky knows that his free ride is over, and I don't think he knows how to deal with it. And I think he's struggling with that right now. Giants fan says, when you need justice now, call 1-877-CASH now, or call 1-877-CASH now. Yes, love it. The memes are going to be glorious. Thank you, Zero Dark, for the 10. 8 o'clock with the proper 199, and we didn't properly celebrate the proper 199. Okay, we didn't properly celebrate, so now we properly celebrate the proper 199. There we go, because this is how we celebrate proper 199s around here. Okay.
Should I do it?
Do not come.
I'm gonna do it.
Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Oh. It never gets old. I don't care how many times I play it. John says, can we have Dan Vass to join Doge to work on the music industry? He gets a work visa. It's a win-win. By the way, it was good to meet you at the Coconut. Hell yeah. I don't know if Dan Vass is still here, but that would be a win-win, and pleasure to meet you as well. Man, we had a great meetup, and so many people showed up, and we're going to do it again next year, and it's going to be even better next year. Shadow Sand says, put on some Sweeney when it goes silent. I think everybody would be happy about that. Jeff Hill says, clean the swamp is never easy, but I believe Trump has the staff to do it. A lot of damage, get a lot of this corruption out of our government. I believe so too. It's obviously a huge hill that he's going to have to climb, but I do believe that he can get it done. McCock says, where is Jay? Who is Jay? Why is Jay? Where is Jay? What is Jay? Hector says, anyone else getting recommended? Yahtzee, PsyOps, this one in Cincinnati, Trump needs to make news, either more accountable or fact checks everywhere. Not me, not locally anyway. Olympian Products says, congratulations to Tim Pool. He's having his beanie baby today. We may clown on him, but he'll be a great dad. Hail Beanie Cast and hail the 199. I will say that I think Tim Pool will make a fantastic dad. No BS. I think Tim Pool would make a great. He will make a great dad, and congratulations to him. Apparently, he's having the birth of his child's happening today, from what people said. So, a big congratulations to him and his family. McCox says 199. You didn't say it had to be $199. Space Comet Digger says apolitical. The FBI was used as a political weapon. 100%. Night Call says cash me outside. How about that? Lady Acela says, hail chat, Jeremy DM'd you a link to a funny video by The Onion from years ago about government money hole. Cash is going to rock this. Let's fucking go. I agree. Packing Proton says, yesterday Valiant Renegade found out, never challenged the chat. Want to accompany him to Snow White. I mean, I already have to see it because we're doing it for Friday Night Tights. But that is, you never challenge the chat. You never challenge the chat. The chat will always win. Let's see. Redonk says 877 cash now. The Bob the God Made says, just saw a Guardian article saying that it's time for Americans to stop paying taxes due to Trump Musk. The fools don't get that. That's the goal. Well, yeah, I mean, you're never going, like, these people are broken. They're all broken. Just like the anti-Cash Patel stuff that we were seeing today, it was just very, very strange behavior that didn't really, like, none of it made any sense. And, but this is why they're on the losing side. And they're going to continue to be on the losing side. Democrats really have nothing. Here we go right here.
All right, we have an FBI Director, Kash Patel, getting 51 votes in a Senate-wide confirmation vote just a moment ago to 49 noes, which means that 2 Republican senators did not vote for him. For that and more, let's go to senior correspondent Chad Pergram.
Murkowski and Collins.
All the moves on Capitol Hill. Chad?
Good afternoon, John. Well, Bernie Moreno, the Republican senator from Ohio, just read the vote total, 51 to 49. Mitch McConnell, the former Republican leader who announced his retirement earlier today, he voted yes. Some people thought he might vote no, but there were 2 GOP no's. You had Lisa Murkowski of Alaska and Susan Collins of Maine. So 51-49. They did not need J.D. Vance here to break a tie in this instance. I should note that this is only the second nominee who's gotten more than 1 GOP no. You had Mitch McConnell, who's voted, being the only no on the Republican side a couple of times here. You have to go back.
So there you go. Kash Patel has been confirmed, and it is a glorious day to say the least. A lot of meltdowns. Right here, breaking 911. Kash Patel confirmed as FBI director. Buckle up, America. So I want to remind everyone of something that the FBI did. The FBI sent multiple agents to Talladega, Alabama, to investigate a garage door pull because Bubba Wallace, or Bubba Smollett, claimed that he was the victim of a race hate crime because there was a garage door pull in a garage at a NASCAR race. So the FBI sent multiple people to Talladega, Alabama to investigate something that everyone knew was bullshit from the beginning. I hope Kash finds out who all the agents were involved with that and fires every fucking one of them. Just because you guys went down there, you should have been like, no, I can't do this. I quit or whatever. And then you get rehired under Kash. Fuck that. Absolutely ridiculous. Andy Plays Game says, we still get 47 more months of Trump. Chester Wolf says, it took me years to get American citizenship, years of paperwork, documentation, proof that I could support myself, proof that I could secure a job. And yeah, and the problem is you did it the right way, and all these other clowns did it the wrong way, but they're all going to pay the ones that did it the wrong way. Nick Cox says, is that President Ross? Lance Schneck says, it's so funny how they put memes up because clearly the joke is lost on them. Exactly. Doc Hollywood for $100. Jeremy, are you tired of winning yet? Let's effing go. I am not tired of winning, and I hope you're not tired of winning because it is glorious. In fact, and I think I can, let me see if I can find it right now, because our own wonderful president even said as much, if you guys remember. Let's see if I can find it right here. Here we go. Right here.
We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning. And you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore. Mr. President, it's too much. And I'll say, no, it isn't. We have to keep winning. We have to win more. We're going to win more. We're going to win so much. I love you all.
Yeah, let's go. I am not tired of winning. I am not tired. I don't think anybody's tired of winning. Nico Lex says, made a perfect cash meme for this moment. Posted on your Twitter with some fire emojis. Hell yeah, I'll check it out. More. It's a month. We are in a month into the Trump presidency. A month. And this is what we're getting right now. This is amazing. Let's see. Go back up to the top here. Your Barmy says American Gigolo Cash. 4 knots nowhere. FBI agents never lie. Peter, I don't know how to say that, has entered the chat. Yep. Taco Woman Sandy Ravage. That is a wild name. Taco Woman Sandy Ravage. That's a good name. 8 o'clock says bro's terrified that he's going to lose his CIA Coke money. Grant Potato says guess Elon needs to pull his Starlink support. Zinni Biscuit says technically, let's see, where did it go? I just lost it. Where did it go? I lost your super chat. I'll have to go back and find it. There's another story I want to talk about really quick. Is this isn't live, is it? No, that's not. That was 4 hours ago. So JD Vance is at CPAC right now. Somebody was asking me about that earlier. So JD Vance is at CPAC. I think Trump is supposed to speak here in the next few minutes. We got this one right here. You love to see it, man. It's so great. These memes are glorious. Just because, and I don't know how many of you saw it, and so I don't think anyone that saw it is going to be mad that I'm playing it again, but it's just so good that I got to play it again because everybody needs to understand who Kash Patel is. Listen to this.
Against people, are they not your enemies by any logical definition of the term? He goes on to a video that shows himself chainsawing off the heads of the people on his enemies list, including the handsome junior senator from California and the daughter of former Vice President Cheney. It's a pretty gross image to be cutting the heads off of people with a saw. And he didn't put it up, but he retweeted it. He loved it so much that he put it up on his own media. Things like that are not appropriate for an FBI director. They're bizarre for just a normally weird person, but for an abnormally weird person to be the director of the FBI, things are going to go bad. Be warned. He is also a completely sycophantic.
This is my favorite part. This is my favorite part right here. This is amazing. Listen.
Suck up when it comes to Donald Trump. He wrote children's books in which King Donald rules and his loyal little functionary, Kash, brings justice to him, pursuing the slugs of the FBI. Really? When the FBI is asked to investigate corruption in Trump world, do you think Kash Patel will rise to the occasion, or do you think he'll participate in a cover-up? All you have to do is look at his own conduct and his own history. This is not Democrats saying this. What we're doing is relating what he has said and what he has done. This is Kash Patel on Kash Patel.
So again, I dedicate this to all the Democrats.
877 cash now. 877 cash now. They help thousands, they'll help you too. One lump sum of cash they will pay to you. If you get long-term payments but you need cash now, call J.G. Wentworth. 877 cash now. 877 cash now. 877 cash now. 877 cash now.
I need a longer version of that to the memers that made it. I need a longer version. It's so great. We are now in the Attitude Era, or you can call it the meme era. Although I kind of feel like 2016 was the meme era because 2016, like Donald Trump's the first meme president. For sure. Trump's the first meme president. I haven't heard this. Let's listen to this. Our new FBI director. Here we go.
Anyway, the other thing that I put in the book that I recommended the boss to do hits on this. We need a 24/7 declassification office.
Yes.
Rolling papers out 24/7. And not just like
ticker
JFK
tape.
and not just 9/11. You're talking to the guy that's read the whole 9/11 report and those 7 pages that people talk about. But I believe as like the guy who's an intel guy who believes wholeheartedly in the classified system of information, I believe that it has been over abused by these corrupt officials in government to hide the truth and enact more corrupt activities. So what I told the boss was like, I don't care what you call it, truth and reconciliation, whatever, come up with a better name. But every agency and department literally submits all of their documentation. And I believe you could get half out, half. I still think the other half needs to remain classified. I'll always argue that it does serve a purpose. But like you're seeing in these documents in the Jack Smith case, they're just redacting stuff that they lied about, that they broke the law.
Mhm.
I mean,
it's used to protect themselves.
And it's a public document in a federal court, which is a document for the people of the United States. And we can have you run that office. You can come in and just be like, hey, I want all the Saudi documents.
I'll gladly do that. I'll be so happy.
Yeah,
So Luke will be the press secretary for the Libertarian Party.
The declassifying
the viceroy of
documenter.
declassification.
Absolutely, I like that.
There you go.
I'm in. You got where do I sign up?
Yeah.
Dude,
But I
Cash
think
is
that's how you
awesome.
earn the respect. Like you said, Donald Trump started talking about these things. Then we started putting these documents out there. And remember when I ran Russiagate, right? They came after me and said, if you put out the Nunes memo and you put this out that you wrote, our enemies and our allies are going to get murdered. No one died.
Freaking Cash. Yeah, Luke, his politics really annoy me, but I met Luke in person and he was super nice. He was super nice to me. He wanted me to come on his show, but I'm not going all the way down to Miami for that. But I did meet Luke. He was a great guy. He was super nice. Mainly because it was when the quartering told him that, because I met him, the quartering introduced me to him, and the quartering was like, hey, this is Jeremy. He gets more super chats than you guys on Timcast. And Luke's like, oh, hey man, hey, you should come on my show. I'm like, hey, yeah, thanks, man. Yeah. But we talked for a few minutes. He was super cool. But that's how the quartering introduced me to him. And then as soon as quartering said that, he was like, oh, hey man, hey, how you doing? Hey, that's I was like, damn it, Jeremy, you didn't have to introduce me like that. But good shit. Man, this is an exciting day right now. I'm seeing if there's any more Kash Patel stuff that people are crying about right now, because there's a lot of people, there's a lot of meltdowns going on. There's a lot of people panicking right now over all of this. And you have to ask yourself, why? Why are you panicking about this? Why are you so upset? You're clearly scared. Okay. All right. We've got a video here. I think people are going to appreciate this video. It's from Secretary Kristi Noem. She has a message. Let's hear what Kristi Noem has to say.
I was just going through some of the folks that we've pulled off the streets to deport out of this country because of President Trump's focus on making America safe again. Here we have a guy named Gonzalez, who's been convicted of sodomy of children less than 13 years of age. He has been sentenced to prison, but he is out of our country now, thanks to President Trump. Another guy here who is arrested and has been removed, but he was convicted for possession of distributing child porn. So this guy was distributing that throughout the country, illegal alien, gone from our country now. Here we have a Chinese national convicted of murder, now is gone, a citizen of China that came here and was convicted of killing people in this country that are gone thanks to President Trump. Thank you to all the brave men and women that are out there deporting these illegal criminals. They get up every day to do it and are making our communities safer.
It's nice to have leadership in this country again, is it not? It's nice to have people in charge that actually care about this country. And I mean, personally, like I said, the fact that so many illegal immigrants are being removed from this country, violent, illegal immigrants, that is a very like direct and tangible thing that we can look at and go, man, I'm already feeling safer. It doesn't mean that we're just completely safe, but I'm already feeling safer because I know that a lot of these people are being gotten out of our country, which is exactly what I voted for, and which is exactly what a lot of you voted for. I actually have a picture. Let's see. Hang on. Those are the people. Yeah, we got that. Okay. Now I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this is real or not. I'm being told that this is Democrats are confirming that this is actually real footage. Now, I have to qualify that what I'm about to show you could be considered very, very dangerous, and we have to put a disclaimer on it. So before I show it, I just want to make sure that all people with pronouns in your bio tune out, because it will probably hurt your feelings. If you are gender confused, it will probably hurt your feelings. If you're a man and you sit when you pee, then it will probably hurt you as well. But this apparently is real footage.
बड़ी चली छोटी चिंगारी छोटी चिंगारी बड़ी 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 है मन की अलमारी अलमारी हुई सतरंगी जाली सतरंगी हुई सतरंगी थी जो ये रात काली दुश्मन की देखो जो बात लावली.
I love memes. I love the internet. It's such a great time we're in, man. This is so glorious. Holy crap. Woo! Oh, man. I don't know how much better it can get, but I am not tired of winning. Are any of you tired of winning? Holy crap, this is glorious. Okay, what is this? Yeah, so again, this was from today's White House press briefing. Question was, President Trump has talked about replacing income tax with tariff revenue. Is that a possibility?
IRS. President Trump has spoken about replacing income tax with tariff revenue, especially with all this waste, fraud, and abuse that we're seeing cut. Is that a possibility?
Absolutely. And in fact, if you think about the China tariff revenue that we're estimating is coming in from the 10% that we just added, plus the de minimis thing, that it's between $500 billion and $1 trillion over 10 years is our estimate. And that's something that is outside of the reductions that markets are seeing through the negotiations up on the Hill.
What's up,
and
Adrian Curry?
That the tariff revenue is actually going to make it much easier for Republicans to pass a bill. And that was the president's plan all along.
And then I have a question for the IRS.
Getting rid of the IRS, getting rid of illegal immigration, having Doge completely destroy the corrupt government. I personally can't see a realistic scenario. And let's just assume that J.D. Vance runs in 2028. Well, what do we know about J.D. Vance? Well, we know that J.D. Vance, we know that Don Jr., Tucker Carlson, and Elon Musk had a lot to do with convincing President Trump to bring J.D. Vance on as his running mate. Clearly, that was the right decision because J.D. Vance is incredible. So if J.D. Vance is running in 2028, you're going to have to assume that he's going to have a similar cabinet as President Trump, and he's going to have Elon Musk right there with him. There's no scenario where the Democrats can defeat that. You're essentially talking about minimum of 12 years now. You have 4 of President Trump and potentially 8 of J.D. Vance. Unstoppable. Unstoppable. And I don't see any way right now, based on where we're at, I see no way that the Democrats can stop. what's coming this way. And I would love to see Don Jr. as the vice president for JD Vance, as many of you in the chat are saying. I would absolutely love that. I think that would be a hell of a ticket because you essentially flip it from Trump Vance to Vance Trump. And that's a winning ticket. That's a winning ticket right there. And it just sets us up for the future, man. So yeah, that's the no Tulsi. No disrespect to the ladies out there. I don't want a woman running this country. I just don't. Okay. I don't want a woman in a position to run this country. So no disrespect, but I don't want that. So that's just the truth of the matter. And I think most women feel the same way, by the way. There's Adrian Curry, see, based. So let's see. There's so many memes right now, dude. All right, look. All right. All right, look. This is what we had. This was our FBI director. And now we have this. Every time there's another upgrade from the Trump administration, it's the greatest upgrade of all time. I mean, look at this. Look at his shirt. His fucking shirt says elect more women. Good Lord. Thank goodness, man. Thank goodness President Trump won. Because we'd be in bad shape if he didn't. We'd be in very bad shape. Let me see here. Ansi Plays Games says, Jeremy is trying to steal my 5K. Stop the steal. Kevin Crott says, yes, let's make this the last year of TurboTax and other tax service commercials. I agree. Let me see. Where did it go? Freeman.free says 5,000 versus abolish IRS. I didn't realize we had to choose one or the other. I want both or else. I agree with the premise of that. I do. Freeman Die Free says, if I was president, I'd ask Putin to pay-per-view Zelensky's punishment. That would be good. Let's see. Idol Master Memer says, I'm a huge Penguins and Crosby fan, but tonight, screw that. Let's go Team USA. Honored Pittsburgh's great coach Sullivan is USA's coach. I'm going to try to check that out tonight. Minecraft Vampire Mazda says, Jeremy, bro, you look sad. Get some Culver's today, bro, for real. Culver's is great. Accident Seller says, don't scream, Jeremy. You're scaring me. The Meep Kid says, I agree with you, but I prefer to win in 2026 and 2028. I agree with that. Nick Brown says, I have a structured settlement, but I need IRS cash now. Redonk says, idiots take 5,000 down and use it to get a $30,000 car note. The Meep Kid says, the money is better. A Republican will win in 2026 and 2028 election, but I agree with you. Steven says, Jeremy locks in. He doesn't care if you can hear it. Boomer Bonsai says, what the actual F, people? We are 36 trillion in debt, and who's getting stuck with that bill? You are. Keep 5K and pay down the debt. Ouija Zone says, I would take an abolished IRS and prison for these thieves over 5K check. To me, that's worth 100 times more. Clown Pilled 199 says, please annex once IRS is gone. K, thanks. Bye. Christian Rocker says, Trump invited Trudeau to watch the hockey game. Did he? Did this happen? Oh, that is glorious if that's the case. I didn't see that. But did he call him governor, by the way? Because that would be great if if that happened. I love how much he trolls him, dude. It's so great. Let's see here. And you know what? I love the internet. Here's 3-year Letterman. 3-year Letterman congratulating Kash Patel on becoming the FBI director. So there you go, guys. Kash Patel, great job getting confirmed. And 3-year Letterman is such a great follow on Twitter. He's fantastic. Indy Isis 5147 is what I'm hearing. Also, I'm broke. Yell at me when I send supers. Stop sending supers if you're broke. But if you're not broke, you can send as many as you want. Clownpilled199 says, stymie checks that lead to inflation. Just remove IRS. Lanchneck says 5K should be tax exempt. That's true. Polite Rude Guy says, no 5K, just pay off the debt completely. John Jones says, until the IRS is gone, I reiterate that we should normalize calling IRS workers mosquitoes. Let's see. Nasty Iron Torpedo Cremo says, when do cast our votes on replacing the host of CobraCast with Drunk 3PO or Kika? Whenever you guys want, I will gladly step aside, take some time off and play some video games. That would be good for me. Brian Doyle says, Howard's as loyal as they come. No chance he said that last night if that's not Trump's plan. I agree. Schrodinger's chat says 5K is not income. It is rebate refund of your own money. They already confiscated from you in the form of taxes you already paid. It's your money. Well, I mean, I agree with you in theory, but you know what else is my money? The money that I make. Yet I've been giving it to the fucking government for my entire life, and they've been wasting it on bullshit. So all of it's my money. All of it's your money. And we've been having to give it over to these clowns, and then they misuse it. That's the problem. General Duality says, if we get a check or if the IRS is abolished, the establishment will screw us over somehow. That's how I see it. Let's see. Aberjam says, I hated you before it was fashionable. There, see, that's what I'm talking about. I'm okay with that. Black Kane says, if Jeremy wants my opinion on how to be a better streamer, it's easy, be less gay. Senator Kennedy, probably. Sir Paladin Thundercake says he's already confirmed. Yeah, confirmed on Forbes. Well, he's confirmed now. I don't know when you sent the super chat, but he is officially confirmed now. Freeman.free says someone should let the DC Fire Department know the FBI vault is at risk in going up in flames, contingent on this vote. Amy Curtis becomes a new member. Thank you. Meditech says Cocaine Mitch came through. Free Men Die Free says Mitch had a stroke and finger slipped. Very believable, actually. Grand Potato says looks like Mexico is going to try and protect the cartels. River Mile says, what are we doing here? I need cash now. Freeman Die Free says last minute bribery proposals currently in play. Tenublet says let the WWE production team take this over. Beastie Man says, come on, go team. Screw them nays up. Bigly LFG. Jeffrey Scott says, cash confirmed on X. Let me see. Crew Kid says, Schiff hates Cash so much because Cash publicly humiliated him when he was working for Devin Nunes and exposed Russiagate for what it was. Mola Ram says, just saw that Cocaine Mitch is retiring. Polite Rude Guy says, Mitch McConnell just made $3K on Kalshi. Zinny Biscuit says DJ Trump worth $199 cash now. Jack Flack says we need a cash emoji. Crew Kid says Mike Lee and Mark Wayne Mullen coming in from Benny Stream to cast their votes. Polite Rude Guy says Trump 2028. Let's do it again, boys. Listen, I know it's crazy. People may think it's crazy. I haven't completely given up on the idea that Trump is going to run again in 2028. I have not given up on that idea. I'm just telling you, I haven't. I'm not predicting it. I'm just saying I have not given up that Trump is going to try to run again in 2028. Just saying. Ministry of Wrong Think says, I think the golf made him mad. It's about to be nuts. He's too old. I mean, by definition, he's too old now, and the man is working like he's a 25-year-old. So, let's see. Grover Pearson says, Cash Patel as Wyatt Earp, tell them I'm coming and hell is coming with me. Sir Paladin says, arrest Schiff. Freeman Die Free. I don't think the ATF director has been chosen yet. Come on, Brandon Herrera. Chunk the Punk says, cash now. Mola Ram says, cash the Ripper. Eric K, the Dems are all going to Kirk Herbstreit now. 1877 cash now says if you need the deep state dead and cash now and need cash now. Homebound Traveler says time for the hammer of justice to smash. Burns says, according to a tradition, when a demon is being exorcised, it goes out kicking and screaming. That's what the country is experiencing, an exorcism. Maximus BT says, where my breeds at? Gigasaki says, Matt Gaetz and Reacher Star were besties in high school. I saw that story. I straight up hate that dude that plays Reacher. I think I bookmarked that story. What's his name? Alan Richson or some shit like that. He's a fucking horrible person. Like, I hate this dude. I despise this dude. I don't even want to watch the show because he's such a piece of shit. He hates Donald Trump and he hates you. He hates you and he hates Donald Trump. Here we go right here. Reacher star Alan Richson went to school with Matt Gaetz. That motherfucker, we are adversaries. It's shocking to me that the panhandle of Florida continues to vote for somebody knowing everything we know about him and the promises that he's made behind closed doors about pardoning certain criminals. He's just not a good dude, the actor told GQ. There's part of me that wants to get into politics and outdo somebody like him for good. And there's part of me that's like, I'm not duplicitous enough to succeed in politics. You're a bitch, Alan Richson. You're an absolute bitch. You play a fake tough guy on TV, but the bottom line is Donald Trump is tougher than you'll ever be. You have TDS. You cry about Trump all day long, and you pander to a conservative audience with Reacher, yet you hate that conservative audience. He's a piece of shit. Matt Gaetz says, Hollywood apparently changes people. Alan was a year behind me in high school, and we were both on the speech and debate team. We are not adversaries, as I won debate championships, and Alan did more acting stuff. As I recall, his older brother, Eric, won more often than Alan did. As for he was always very nice to me and everyone, and his mother, the computer lab monitor, loved me. Let's see. At her invitation, I even went to his dad's retirement party from the Air Force. It was held at a karaoke bar in Niceville, Florida. I know where that's at, where his dad sang Sitting on the Dock of the Bay. I sang Centerfold. So again, if you want to like criticize Matt Gaetz, that's fine. Like, I personally have no idea. I've always liked Matt Gaetz in terms of the politics. There are a lot of questions surrounding Matt Gaetz. And if you want to make it specific about Matt Gaetz, then that's one thing. The problem with this Alan Richson dude is, and let me see if I can find it, is that he straight up said horrible stuff about Trump and Trump supporters. Let's see here. So this is over. I don't fucking want your pop-up ad bullshit. Right here, Reacher star Alan Richson faces backlash after Trump comments. Reacher star Alan Richson has upset a large portion of his fan base after making comments about Donald Trump that the former president's followers viewed as offensive. Let's see. In an interview with the Hollywood Reporter, Richson, a devout Christian, discussed his faith and how he sees politics as corrupting force with Christianity. I'm a Christian, quite simply because of what Jesus calls us to do. Richson told the THR, love other people until death. It doesn't mean we're all to be hung on a cross, but how I can suffer for you. That's a beautiful thing. But Christians have become the most vitriolic tribe, the 41-year-old actor added. It is so antithetical to what Jesus was calling us to be and do. While Reacher was popular with conservatives, it was often hailed as anti-woke show during the second season. Richson didn't bat an eye, calling out the former president. Trump is a rapist and a con man, he said in an interview. And yet the entire Christian church seems to treat him like he's their poster child, and it's unreal. I don't understand it. That's all you need to know about him. That's all you need to know about him right there. Piece of shit, horrible person. And he's projecting big time. Projecting big time. So that's him right there. That's Alan Richson for you. So anyway, that was like last year when those comments were made. But yeah, I did hear about that story though. Rogue Thought says, now the fun really begins. Can't wait. River Mouse says, Bubba wears Velcro shoes. Manuel says, put that winning directly into my veins. The Exalted Patriarch says, cash time to TCB, deputize us, hail, and 199, and let's go. Earthbound Ian says, I had his confirmation on while driving home from work, and I screamed in my car, oh, baby Schiff, you are so done. Hail the 199. Trump train, baby. Let's go. Voice of the people. Congrats, Cash. Please get to work. You want to restore trust and faith. I want to see charges to HOV officials up to and including treason. Shadow becomes a new member. Thank you. Andrew Sierra says, I was a fan of yours until I saw you had no brows and a hobo beard. Damn, that's all it took. Yeah, that was those RIPA people. Like, they all were like, I hated Jeremy, but now I respect him. And I'm like, you're literally who I just called out. Single issue fucking weirdos. Like, people that define their entire opinion off of one action are weak and pathetic losers. And that's just the reality of it. If one opinion can sway you completely on everything that you have ever stood for, you're a pathetic female behavior. That's what you have. Pathetic female behavior when you do that. Oh, I hate this guy, but he did one thing that I like, so therefore I respect him now. What? You don't want people like that, because they're going to turn on you in an instant. It's very leftist behavior. Again, the J.K. Rowling situation. They all love J.K. Rowling until one opinion. And then all of the social justice warriors, J.K. Rowling agrees with all of these leftist freaks on every fucking issue except the trans issue. So because there's one issue, suddenly they're willing to turn on her. It's very emotionally unstable behavior. You don't want that type of shit, okay? So yeah, I know that they're all trying to like praise me and all that shit, and it just needs to be known. I don't need your support. I need support of people that aren't emotionally unstable. Because on the internet, people are going to disagree with you. People are going to agree with you. And that's totally fine. But single issue people are not emotionally stable enough that you can't rely on their support at all. You just can't do it. Matt Stranger says, evidence of 2020 being stolen will now be coming out with cash in the cabinet, LFG Trump 2028. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Trump 2028, baby. Richard Throbin says, let's fucking go. Stay horny, everyone. Richard, calm down, buddy. Jeremy just called women pathetic. Yeah, is this the first time you've watched CobraCast? Is this the first time? I don't, like, again.
877 cash now. 877 cash now.
They help thousands, they'll help you too. One lump sum of cash they will pay to you. If you get long-term payments but you need cash now,
call J.G. Wentworth. 877 cash now.
877 cash now.
877 cash now.
877 cash now.
Here's an emotionally unstable woman, according to the left.
You need to settle down and mind your business, okay? Both of you guys? Ma'am, once again, ma'am.
I said both of you.
No, you said sir. Once again, it's ma'am.
I actually said both of you guys. It was a general.
Right beforehand, you fucking said sir.
Sir? Okay.
Motherfucker, take it outside. If you want to call me sir again, I will show you a fucking sir.
I apologize.
Motherfucker.
I apologize now.
That is my favorite clip ever. It's Woo! I love it so much. I love it so much. It's so great. But anyway, MC Martin says the attitude meme era. Let's go. Packing Proton says, now I understand the turtle power reference. There you go. Darth Gavel says Tim Pool should name his baby Cash. Cash Pool. Ward Breer says, deport all Canucks. I won't be satisfied otherwise. Boomy Bob says, I was a fan of you until I found out you signed the Snake Eyes movie. Stephen DeLeon says, you are super gay. And Stephen DeLeon rules all. Ministry of Wrong Thing says, is Cash related to Julie Cash from X Hamster? What's X Hamster? I should have not even said it, because now people don't Google it. Don't, if you're a decent person, don't Google it. Okay. Just don't Google it. All right. Lean back. Doge needs 5 more teams to scale up their progress. Trump has 2 years to Lean back says Doge needs 5 more teams to scale up their progress. Trump has 2 years, not 4, to drain the swamp. The winning must be so bigly we can get a red wave in 2026. I agree. John freaking Murdoch for 50 says, sorry I'm late. Cash for cash confirmation. Let's go. What's up, John freaking Murdoch? Good to see you here, brother. Thank you for the 50. Leanback says, you need to refer Frank Luntz to your toupee guy. Good old Frank Luntz. Grand Potato says, the IRS set to cut 7,000 employees. Yeah, it was that's today, right? So the IRS is firing 7,000 employees today, if I'm not mistaken. And let me see if there's any update on that. I'm seeing if there's any updates. Oh, and Trump is supposed to be live, right? Is that right? Did I miss it? God dang it. President Trump to participate in Black History Month reception at the White House. I really wish he wouldn't, because I think Black History Month is disrespectful anyway to Black people. I think Morgan Freeman said it best. Where's that Morgan Freeman clip about Black History Month? Let's see. Morgan Freeman, Black History. Here it is. Here we go. Right here.
Black History Month you find
ridiculous.
Why?
You're going to relegate my history to a month?
Oh, come on.
What do you do with yours? Which month is White History Month? No, well, come on, tell me.
Well, I'm Jewish.
Okay, which month is Jewish History Month?
There isn't one.
Oh, why not?
Yeah.
Do you want one?
No.
All right. I don't either. I don't want a Black History Month. Black history is American history.
How are we going to get rid of racism?
Stop talking about it. I'm going to stop calling you a white man.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you to stop calling me a black man. I know you as Mike Wallace. You know me as Morgan Freeman.
It's that simple. It's that simple. Great clip from a great guy. And that's what it's all about right there. But with that said, Trump apparently is, and look, I'm not criticizing Trump for this. It's part of it. So whatever. He's gotten rid of all this DEI bullshit. So we're happy about that. But I do want to hear what he has to say, because if we know anything about President Trump, he's probably going to take it in a whole different direction. He's probably going to start talking about how much he hates, Zelensky, and he's probably going to call Governor Trudeau. That's what Trump does. So we'll see. Let's see. Bree won this. Says not one penny. This is for $20. Not one penny of the federal income tax goes towards any government function whatsoever. Go read the 1986 Grace Commission report. Reagan did. The W-4 and W-9 are only for foreigners earning money in U.S. and taking it offshore. Thank you for the $20. Everybody go check that out. Appreciate that. When it said Brie won this, I didn't know. I didn't know if it was like a Brie Larson thing. So is that your first super chat? Have you super chatted me before? I don't remember, but thank you. Guava Ball says, a great day for America. Waiting for Jeremy to explain what X Hamster is. All hail the 199. It's an educational site for degenerate people like myself. There you go. 877 cash now. Jeremy, did you see the clip I took from his education and sent you? Black people on the dating show transgender spoke, all the balloons popped. No, I don't recall you. I didn't. Yeah, what name are you sending that under? Because I don't know which name you're sending it under over on Twitter. Lance next says McConnell only voted for Cash because someone played him the Cash Now meme on repeat. It's a great one too. It is a great one. Let me see. Prater Mine says Cash is the apocalypse of these people. Chester Wolf the Griffin says sick and tired of the government wasting everyone's time and sending us the bill. VJ the Vigilant says cash me outside. How about that? Wax it till it shines says, is it me or is it bright in here? Dutchy says, can do both, Jeremy. What are you talking about? Again, you're just talking about it being more complicated, though. I'm looking at the bigger picture, and the sooner the IRS is abolished, the better. The longer it takes, the more complicated it will become. So the sooner, the better. That's my stance on it. June's Melody says, Jeremy, off topic, but are you growing back your mustache? It looks good on you. I mean, I haven't really thought about it. I just haven't really been, I haven't shaved. And then of course, everybody, like people started talking about it. So yeah, I don't know. I kind of just get bored sometimes. And so we'll see what happens with it, I guess. River Miles says, mommy. Madney says, America the beautiful. What a timeline we live in. Yellow Flash, it's time to drain the swamp. Let's go. Chunk the Punk, call JD Vance Worth 199 cash now. Cole Hauser says, yo, Jeremy, glad these things go well in the US. Still a shithole in Canada. Don't be mad, but have to support my Canadians on the ice tonight. 199. Hey, I hear you, brother. I appreciate you, man. You're awesome. Learn to shave, Beardo. Project Taco says, Brandon Herrera for ATF. Davis Mart says, hail, Jeremy. I love this timeline. Dark Schwartz Rising says, tried X hamster thing, but they want to do the age verification. Why? Let me see. Naruto the 7th says, Jeremy does look different, but I didn't say it was a good thing, though. Well, that's just nice or mean. I don't know. Olympian Product says, I was a fan of yours until you dissed Mountain Time. Yeah, Mountain Time, like, I just don't know anyone that like recognizes Mountain Time, you know? Like even me, I live in the Central Time Zone. Everybody thinks I live in the Eastern Time Zone because I'm in Florida, but I actually live, because more of Florida is in the Eastern Time Zone, but I'm in the Panhandle. So I live in the, I live in Central Time Zone. So, but many people get confused by that. But Mountain Time? Who cares about Mountain Time? You know? I don't know. It's weird. Like, I don't know anyone that recognizes Mountain Time. I don't know of anyone that's ever talked about Mountain Time. The only thing Mountain Time is, like, I get confused when I'm driving across the country because it confuses me. Because I'm like, what time is it? Where am I? Shadow Sand says, Jeremy, show us a sad dog commercial. No. Listen, I know my limitations, okay? Sad dog stories. I'm not man enough to deal with like sad dog movies and all of that. I'm just not. I can't do it. Big Old Ball says, under his name on the tweet, I sent it to you. Olympian Product. Oh, I got that one. My Dixie Wrecked says, Josh Shapiro attended a Black History Month event yesterday. They served fried chicken and cornbread at the luncheon. You can't make this shit up. Really? That's pretty amazing. Helen Hunt's forehead. It's cash me outside. How about that? Guinea Pig with a fanny pack says, just caught up after going 1.5 speed. Jeremy sounds even more regarded, probably retarded now. Keep up the good work. Hail the 199. Hail cash. Thank you. Let's hear what they have to say right now. When's Trump supposed to make his appearance?
And then also seeing various reports and various rallies from around the nation and people from all walks of life, all about President Trump because he's all about truth and freedom and common sense. So it's easy to like someone like that too when they stand for the right things. We know he's been standing for the right things, but also talk about being an entertainer and having some comedy going through it too, regardless of all of the lawfare and terrible situations that we all shared together.
8 Below is a sad dog
watching and
movie.
seeing some in person. And
I don't like it. I don't like any sad dog movies. I don't do well with them. Okay. So just not my strong suit. The Under Armour Gamer says, I never seen that clip. I always assumed that Freeman was just a liberal and he may be, but still. The thing about Morgan Freeman is that's about the only thing I know about Morgan Freeman's politics. That's really it. So whatever his politics are is fine with me. The fact is that Morgan Freeman seems to be a level-headed individual. It's kind of like when you have the Mark Hamills of the world. Do I care what Mark Hamill's politics are? No, I don't. Do I care that Mark Hamill makes his politics the defining characteristic of his social media existence? That's where the problem is. If you don't like Trump, that's fine. But if your entire public social media existence is to let everyone know that you hate Trump, then I'm going to judge you for that. And I'm going to judge you harshly. And I'm going to revel in the fact that you hate what's going on. And the more that Trump wins, the more that I know that Mark Hamill is crying. Mark Hamill's a good man, says Ricky Morton. Well, that's just objectively false. Mark Hamill tried to get his son's girlfriend, forced her to have to get an abortion. Mark Hamill, it's on record. She went forward with this. Mark Hamill's son got his girlfriend pregnant. Mark Hamill and his the family tried to pressure her to get an abortion. If that's the definition of a good man, then you got some weird definitions, because that's who Mark Hamill is. Mark Hamill's a terrible fucking person. And any defense of Mark Hamill is either short-sighted or you're just overlooking the reality of the situation. So, but yeah, that's Mark Hamill. And that is on record. Now, the kid was born against Mark Hamill's wishes, but that's who Mark Hamill is. Red Mage for 50 says, saw a comment section for an article about the IRS abolishment. People against it saying it's the rich won't pay taxes, tax refunds will take longer, and other retarded reasons. I still can't believe how dumb, ignorant are both people are. The good news is that they're not the majority. The dumb people out there are not the majority, which was proven by the election. And they're losing relevancy constantly. It doesn't really matter what you do. It doesn't matter what you say. You're going to have some people that are going to agree with you. That's just the truth of the matter. But Democrats are losing support. They're losing support. They're not gaining support, and they're not maintaining support. They're actively losing support. If something is constantly losing support, you're probably not doing a very good job. And that's just the truth of it. And Democrats are just constantly losing. Thank you for the 50, Red Mage. And it's good to meet you in Orlando. Dark Schwartz Rising says, Mark Hamill is anti-Trump and anti-pants. Big Ol' Ball says, just DM'd a linked. Okay. Joker's Disciple says, the Thing was a sad dog movie if you think about it. You know what's like Homeward Bound is one that obviously it's like it ends positively, but it's still like, I don't know, man. I think about like, again, I lost a dog in the past year, and of course, like if I was to watch a sad dog movie, all it's going to do is make me think about, Puppy Face, the dog I lost. That's all it's going to make me do. And I'm not going to be able to get through it. I'm only going to think about him. That's all I'm going to do. It's awful. So, General Duality says, abolish daylight savings. MAGA balls of steel. Yes, RIP Puppy Face. Miss him every day. Miss him every day. Watch Marley and Me. I won't. I've never seen it. I won't watch it. If people are asking about Cash was confirmed. That happened about an hour ago. Cash Patel, 100% confirmed. So, let me see here. You see if there's any updates on social media of anything. I don't know when. I would imagine he's going to be sworn in today, if possible. Oh, here it is. Here's Cash Patel's first statement right here. I am honored to be confirmed as the director of the FBI. Thank you to President Trump and Attorney General Bondi for your unwavering confidence and support. The FBI has a storied legacy, and the American people deserve the FBI, transparent, accountable. My mission as director is clear. Let good cops be cops and build and rebuild trust in the FBI. Working alongside the dedicated men and women of the Bureau and our partners, we will rebuild the FBI the American people can be proud of. And to those who seek to harm Americans, consider this your warning. We will hunt you down in every corner of this planet. Mission first, all America always. Let's get to work. Hell yeah, let's freaking go. Cash Patel's and right there, FBI Director Cash Patel, verified on Twitter. There we go. We'll give him a follow right there. It's going to be great. He's going to crush it. Can't wait. All right, so let's listen in here.
The 4th or 5th in just one day, and it's only 3:30 in the afternoon, with another one later today as well. And that's on the heels of tomorrow's coverage with CPAC when it comes to day 2 from CPAC. And then President Trump, I believe, will be speaking on day 3 on Saturday. So you can follow us on Right Side Broadcasting Network to catch up with all of the news going on around America First policies, but also everything when it comes to the White House, the Pentagon, the State Department.
CPAC is going on.
We cover whether it's a.
I want to watch this right now because at least they do have CPAC going on, and they're waiting for President Trump to go live. So, 1992 Space Movie says, would God dang y'all. Let me see. 1992 Space Movie says, would you Google X Hamster when you could instead Google the first movie the director of Captain African American made, or just Google my name? Jeremy would Google live, but he never reads my super chats. I mean, I think Googling 1992 Space Movie would probably make a lot of people laugh. So you should do that. All right. You should do that. 1992 Space Movie. That would be a good one. Let's see. RIP Leia, the OG Geeks and Gamers doggo. No, Leia's still alive. Leia's still alive. It's puppy face. Don't make me start getting sad over that. Leia's still with us. It's puppy face that's no longer with us. Let's see. It's pronounced brew on this, but yes, first super. Okay, there we go. Brew on this. Got you. Got you. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Ministry of Wrong Things says, don't look up Anthony Fauci animal testing trial. No, not at all. Not at all. Trump needs to teach Jeremy how to read. I am like not even the worst reader in the entire fellowship and the 199. Okay. That's a compliment to me. All right. Gary, Beardo, and Craig are probably worse than me. So I'm like the 4th worst reader. Okay. I'm like the 4th.
Oh, let it be so. Let it be so. Wow. Is that real? Is that real?
That's an actual legitimate, well, I use that word legitimate very loosely nowadays with the media, but that report is out there.
Gary's worse than Beardo? You think Gary's worse than Beardo? That's still bad. I mean, it is. It is. Who's the best reader? Who's the best super chat reader in the fellowship and the 199? I already know who it is, but I'm curious if you guys know who it is. Who's the best super chat reader? It's 100%. Like it's exactly. Chat said it's Ryan. Ryan's by far the best super chat reader. Yeah, Ryan is 100% the best. Ryan is definitely the best. Jeremy's pretty good. I will say that. Yeah, I'll give you credit for that one. Jeremy's pretty good. Meek's pretty good. Meek is pretty good too. Yeah, that's true. Andrea says, how many resignations do you think are being typed out right now at the FBI? Hashtag in the Fed. Probably a lot. Probably a lot. I'm looking forward to seeing just how many we get, because the panic and the meltdown is going to be pretty good. Let me see. Biz Jack for 5 over Romo says, it's so gay in here. Mod Eric says, Trump is doing the Tom Cruise speech in Tropic Thunder on these cartels. Legion of memers that needs to get on that. Mod Eric says, it was me who rated you, but you're welcome. Oh, I didn't know it was you. That's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it. Eric John Pizarro says, I apologize on behalf of all Rhode Islanders for Sheldon Whitehouse. Mod Eric says, we will not have the FBI murder like Ruby Ridge under Kash Patel. Enoch says, Billy Idol just launching a new tour with a rebel yell. She cried more. Let me see. Waffle Master says, don't ask a man his salary, a woman her age, the quartering what he thinks should happen to people who slept 16, 17-year-olds on an island. Dude uses some states it's legal excuse. I don't know what that's in reference to. Let me see. I'm trying to catch up on the Rumble ones. Weird Robot says, or Wire Robot says, watch a music video for Happier by Marshmello. You'll ball like a baby. Enoch says, Jeremy, any insight on news on the J6ers expelled from CPAC? I've heard people talking about that, but I don't know exactly what happened there. It's bullshit for sure, but I don't know the specifics. I haven't heard anything about it. Shadow Sand says, how old would Puppy Face be today? Maybe like 13 or 14, maybe. I think. Yeah, maybe 12, 13, somewhere in there. I'm not specifically sure how old he would be. Jay Skywalker says, Jay said on Daily he doesn't wipe, showers it off.
I was not ready for that. I was not ready for that. What just happened?
I didn't need to know that. I didn't need to know that. There is no scenario in this world or the next where I needed to know that. I didn't need to know. Andrew says the panic and meltdowns have been delicious. Matt Stranger says Beardo deserves a raise, Jeremy. I wouldn't go that far. I mean, I just would not, under any circumstance, ask that question. Damn it. Oh, well, guess what? New Superman movie's ruined. It's over. New Superman movie is ruined. James Gunn's hanging out with Zack Snyder. It's over. It's over. So any hopes you had for the new Superman movie? Now Zack's like, hey, James, you should totally like have him let his dad die. You know, you should totally like have him let his dad die. It would be totally cool, man. And put some slow-mo into it. So that's, yeah, we're screwed. We're screwed on that one. It's over now.
From Fox News Worldwide here for you, and we will get you back out to CPAC in just a little bit. We're also keeping an eye on the White House. President Trump remarks coming up. As soon as we have it, we'll have it for you on Live Now. We'll be back in just 2 minutes.
Microphone is that guy using, by the way? What microphone was that? That was the worst microphone ever. Let me see. Granola Grin says, been watching since Trump saved the world. Keep up the gay work, Jeremy. One day you'll get that Crocs endorsement deal. Hail the 199. I'd rather have just like, who do I want? Like, just get Culver's. Have Culver's sponsor me. I'll be happy with that. Just a Culver sponsorship. That's all I need, really. Give me that and I'm good. That's all I need. The memes, man. Here we go.
Catch me outside, how about that? Catch me outside, how about that? Catch me outside, how about that? Catch me outside, how about that?
Holy shit. Ah, the memes. Holy crap. We're going to continue to get a lot of them too. Rapid Response is tweeting out the Kash Patel Twitter account now, so that's good. Okay, we got that one. Appreciate all of you guys hanging out. If you're just tuning in, we did get the Kash Patel confirmation. I probably need to change the title to this stream now, just because people are probably like, what's going on now? So let me change the title to CobraCast 199. CobraCast 199. And then I'm going to put President Trump live. There we go. So we're waiting for President Trump. Boom. And I rarely ever do this, but I figured let's just do it. We'll change the thumbnail and all that since the current story that we were on is no longer available. Okay, there we go. All right, all has changed now. So if you're just tuning in, we're waiting for President Trump to go live. We are also checking out CPAC right now. Trump is supposed to be at CPAC. Let's go over here right now. Trump's supposed to be at CPAC. Not today.
Weaponry today is so powerful, so strong, that it's killing a lot of soldiers. And I don't want to see they're Russian and they're Ukrainian. I don't want to see those soldiers killed. They have mothers and fathers. They have sisters and brothers. I don't want to see them killed.
Mr. President, on tariffs, you mentioned lumber. That's something that I don't believe you've heard before.
Lumber, yeah, forest products, yeah.
And do you have a rate in mind for that?
No, but we're thinking about maybe 25%.
And would that also be April 2nd?
In that vicinity, yeah, a little bit later.
And also, which car companies did you said that you spoke with some car companies?
We spoke to all car companies. Everybody's coming back into America.
So these are foreign car companies?
Including foreign companies, yeah. They're going to be coming in because they don't want to pay the tariffs.
You said you'll be having lunch with some Democrats next week. Can you elaborate on who that is and what you all plan?
Well, you see when I do it. But some good ones. Some biggies.
Are you concerned about congressional funding?
No, I think we're going to just talk. I think it would be great if Republicans and Democrats could get along. It's time. It's time. Makes sense.
Would you say you trust the Russians to negotiate in good faith going forward? Do you trust them?
I do.
I want to let everybody know really quick. If you are a content creator, and this is I'm being serious right now, okay? This is the second time I've received this. This is a scam right here, okay? If you are a YouTuber, if you have a YouTube channel, and it doesn't matter how big or small the YouTube channel is, if you have one, this is a scam. Do not click on this shit at all. It's a scam that's been going around for a few weeks now. It looks like it's from YouTube. It's not. Do not click this shit because it's a scam. It's a phishing scam. And so if anybody gets anything like that, be extremely careful because it looks legit and it's not legit. So I just want to give everybody a heads up.
It's hard to feel sorry for what's happened in New York. It's sad to see the way they've treated people. And they continue.
Did I click it? No, I actually saw other YouTubers warning people about it. And then I got the first one yesterday and I just got another one now. But I have when I was early on in my YouTube career, I did get caught up in a scam. They hacked my account and everything. And this is before, like, it was a very scary time. They stole my money and everything. I got it back, but it took about 3 months to get that whole situation figured out. But to YouTube's credit, YouTube got all my money back for me. They 100% did. That's why I've never really had, like, YouTube has problems for sure. But I had thousands of dollars stolen from me, legitimately stolen from my account. And YouTube got every dime back. Every dime. I could not believe it. I never expected YouTube was going to get my money back. And they got all my money back. Let's hear what Trump's saying right now. This is yesterday, by the way.
Good relationship with President Xi. I think a great relationship with President Xi. But remember, he loves China, and I love the USA. So, you know, right there's a little bit of competitiveness. But the relationship I have with President Xi is, I would say, a great one. It was obviously hurt by COVID coming in. It hurt them, hurt us, hurt everybody, hurt the whole world. But outside of that, I have a very, very good relationship with President Xi.
Are you looking to
I think he's a very unique person.
would you make a new trade deal with China? I mean, you know, that
Possible.
one trade deal never really got.
It's possible. Well, we did a great trade deal with China. We did it great for the farmers, great for manufacturers. They had to buy $50 billion worth of our product, and we were making them buy it. The problem is that Biden didn't push them to adhere to it.
So, do you think DC should govern itself, or do you think that governing of District of Columbia should go back to Congress?
I think that we should govern District of Columbia. It's so important, the DC situation. I think that we should run it strong, run it with law and order, make it absolutely flawlessly beautiful. And I think we should take over Washington, D.C., make it safe. People are getting killed, people are being hurt. You have a great police department there, but somehow they're not utilized properly. We should govern D.C. I think the federal government should take over the governance of D.C. and run it really, really properly. And I like the mayor. I get along great with the mayor. But they're not doing the job. Too much crime, too much graffiti, too many tents on the lawns of these magnificent lawns, and there's tents, and, you know, it's a sad thing, you know, homeless people all over the place, and we got to take care of the homeless. But you can't have that in Washington, D.C. You know, when they come over to see me, like Macron is coming, and the Prime Minister of UK is coming, and all these people are coming over to see me, we'll have ultimately President Xi, and we'll have everybody coming, right? And you can't let that be. You just can't let that happen. You can't have tents all over your once magnificent plazas and lawns and all. You just can't do it.
We'll do a couple more.
Sir, do you think you can still pay for extending your tax cuts without cutting both Medicaid and Medicare?
Yeah, absolutely.
House Republicans are planning to make cuts too.
Well, I think we're going to take in tremendous tariff money, number one. And number two, you take a look at Doge and you see what's happening. We're saving billions of dollars.
On Doge, do you know what they're looking at specifically at the Department of Defense right now?
Yeah, they're looking at everything.
And are they going to cut more national
They're looking at. We're going to
security
go into
positions?
Fort Knox to make sure the gold is there.
Yeah.
You know that we're going to go into Fort Knox. Do you know about that?
Sir,
That was a bad bump.
are they going to eliminate more national security positions, civilians there?
We'll see what happens. But one of the things we do want to look, I mean, we hope everything's fine with Fort Knox, but we're going to go to Fort Knox, the fabled Fort Knox, to make sure the gold is there.
Where would the gold have gone? Brought up,
If the gold isn't there, we're going to be very upset.
brought up Greenland in a while. Are you
No, we need Greenland from the standpoint of national security and international security. We have to do something with Greenland. We have to protect Greenland, but we need it for national security, and we need it maybe more importantly for international security.
All right, we'll just do one more.
So can I just follow up? Are you seeing it as part of any of the discussions you're having with Europeans and Putin in some sort of peace deal?
No, we have to have Greenland because of the national security picture, even more so now than it would have been 20 years ago, 30 years ago, when they talked about it then too. You know, they used to talk about it years ago, and they were talking about Greenland, but much more so now with, you know, modern weaponry, planes and the speed of planes and all of the things. So we have to have Greenland. Thank you very much.
Can you tell us what executive orders you signed this afternoon?
Okay, so that was last night when President Trump was taking those questions. We're waiting for him to take the stage right now. And as soon as that happens, obviously, we're going to unmute and go to that. And just, you know, I mean, we've got this wonderful clip that, from a long time ago. We all remember this one.
I would like for you to answer the question.
Okay, it's very simple to answer.
That's why I asked it.
It's very simple to. You're a nasty person. I'll tell you.
Can you answer why you held on to it?
Mind?
I would like for you to answer the question.
Okay, it's very simple to answer.
That's why I asked it.
It's very simple to. You're a nasty person. I'll tell
you. Nobody likes you, Caitlin Collins. Nobody. Oh, it's so good. So good. Oh, man. Is that it? No. There's one. Oh, I have a clip of all of MAGA right now. This is everybody. This is all of MAGA dedicating this to the Democrats right here. Oh, man. I love the internet.
Proclamation on January 31st saying this National Black History Month, as America prepares to enter a historic golden age, I want to extend my tremendous gratitude to Black Americans for all they have done to bring us to this moment and for the many future contributions they will make as we advance into a future of limitless possibility under my administration. That said, on January 31st, a proclamation from President Trump talking about February being Black History Month. And then, of course, today he'll be participating in a reception there. So great to see that. Great to see all of the support from all walks of life throughout our country. It was awesome to see that. Whether, again, Black America, white America, Asians, whatever, Hispanic, it doesn't matter, because what matters is it was we, the people, as a unit together, no matter what we look like, saying we want President Trump in office. So, and a number.
While we're waiting on that, I don't know if you guys saw this, but Robert De Niro actually got to meet President Trump last night. They had a great interaction. So here is the meeting between Robert De Niro and President Trump.
Bobby, it's your favorite president. I forgive you, Bobby, for being such a loser about the election. It's not your fault you were born with a low IQ. It's not your fault, Bobby. Believe me. Bobby, your favorite president won. Kamala lost. She lost so strongly. You were wrong. You're a loser. You're a total loser. This show sucks. You're going to get low ratings, Bobby. You're going to get low ratings. Look at that. From raging bull to raging nobody. Such a disgrace. You're such a disgrace, Bobby. It's a horror. It's an absolute horror. Kamala is getting drunk somewhere. Unbelievable. Look at this guy. That guy's calling your favorite president a virgin. Can you believe it? Look at that crowd. It's such a horror. It's such a disgrace if you look at it. But we're gonna win. We won big, okay? Look at that. Come here, paparazzi. Come here. I love this guy. Look at that. Unbelievable. You want to do a little dance, paparazzi? Come here.
Get in that ass.
This is where we are, ladies and gentlemen. The Attitude Era is here, and it is glorious.
That will be maybe a bit later.
Christian Rocker for $9.99 says, this is the Cobra Kai presidency. Strike first, strike hard, no mercy. Don't forget to check your DMs for that Trump Elon anime intro. Will do. And I like that. Strike first, strike hard, no mercy. The Cobra Kai presidency. East Coast Hosted Voices has just tuned in to the J Fun Fact of the Day. What a time to tune in. Just absolutely amazing. The best fact, perhaps. The greatest fact, perhaps. The greatest ever. Shadow Sand says, but Telegram Jeremy told me I won something. You mean it was a lie? Commodore Fan says, I'm with Morgan Freeman. Black History Month is BS. Redonk says, good luck tonight, Team USA. Corrigan says you have more people watching your live stream than Daily Wire coverage of CPAC. LFG, hail the 199. Jeremy is GOAT. Thank you. I mean, hell, we had like 5,600 here at our peak, so we're doing pretty good. I don't quite have the budget of the multi-million-dollar Daily Wire, but we're doing pretty good over here. We're doing pretty good, so I'm okay with that. Cash is confirmed. If you're just tuning in, Cash Patel is confirmed. So all good. That is very, very awesome. That is more good news, and I can only imagine the freakouts that are happening right now at the FBI. Yes, Cobra Kai. And since we're waiting, I do want to give everybody, you need to go follow me on Critic Lists. All right. I did a bunch of reviews yesterday. Okay. I did a bunch of reviews. So you can go follow me over here on Critic Lists. Okay. Let's see. I reviewed The Batman, 65%. I reviewed The Dark Knight Rises, 80%. The Dark Knight, 100%. Batman Begins, 95%. Batman 89, 85%. G.I. Joe, the movie, nostalgia all the way. Landman, I loved Landman, the Lord of the Rings movies. Cobra Kai. Interstellar, my favorite movie of all time. Reptile, a random movie I saw, was okay. It wasn't that great. Die Hard, Home Alone, Man on Fire, Thanksgiving, garbage Man of Steel, garbage Batman versus Superman, and the dog shit movie known as Snake Eyes. But yeah, you guys should go over there and check it out. And there's like cumulative scores and stuff like that. So like, for instance, The Dark Knight has a 93% overall on the site from 92 votes, which probably should be a little higher. Dark Knight Rises, I gave it an 80. It has an 81%. The Batman, I gave it a 65. It has a 70% overall. And the more numbers we get over there, the better it'll be. So make sure you guys go check it out. Let me see. Trump needs to switch Pride Month and Black History Month. You can't have a cookout in February. It's just wrong. Can you play the 877 cash now one more time for your wife? Absolutely. Where's it at? Let's see. Here we go. Here it is. Let me find it.
877 cash now. 877 cash now. They help thousands, they'll help you too. One lump sum of cash they will pay to you. If you get long-term payments but you need cash now, call J.G. Wentworth. 877 cash now. 877 cash now. 877 cash now. 877 cash now.
I can listen to that shit all day long. It's just damn good, man. I can listen to it all day
Looking forward
long.
to seeing the president again, guys. I mean, I know you are too. It's 4:03 Eastern time. I've said this a few times as well, but I'll say it again. Go Team USA tonight. Hope they win against Team Canada for that hockey game starting at 8 o'clock. And I believe the Boston crowd's going to make it very electric tonight, like a Game 7 Stanley Cup final.
Yeah, it's probably pretty awesome tonight. Grand Potato says, frankly, Caitlyn don't care. It's not Caitlyn, is it? It was what was the name? The JD Vance meme. What is it? What was her name? The reporter that JD Vance says, frankly, I don't care. It wasn't Caitlyn, was it? It was Margaret. Margaret, that's it. Frankly, Margaret, I don't care. Lapco says, think we can get 400% tariff put on pink, blue, green, and purple hair dye, and 600% on nose rings would be great too. Redonk says, Trump needs to switch. I got that one. Force Geek says, finish Cobra Kai. There needs to be a fighting game. There is a Cobra Kai fighting game from a few years ago. It was fine. Booming Bob says, Snakes is so awful. It should get special treatment of less than 0. Still disappointed you signed it. LOL. Hey, the people I'm still disappointed you brought it to me to have me sign it. That's the true disappointment right there. Okay. That's the true disappointment. Let me see if there's any updates. So we're currently waiting for President Trump. You know, I mean, he's a busy guy, so it's okay. Where's that? Speaker Johnson said this at CPAC. Let's hear this.
So, Mr. Speaker, only twice in, I believe, 85 years
Hard to
has
hear.
the president's party picked up seats in the midterm elections. But you are going to change that in 2 years.
We are.
You better. You fucking better.
There's a lot of reasons for that. We're going to defy history, and we're going to grow the House majority in 2 years and not lose the majority. I think everybody recognizes President Trump needs 4 years and not 2. And if they took the majority back, they would try to impeach him. They would open the border wide. They would create all sorts of chaos. So we have to win, and we will. And let me tell you why. Because we have a very favorable landscape. Right now, as we're sitting here today, 13 House Democrats are sitting in districts that President Trump won pretty handily. That's right. There's more than 20 districts that President Trump came within 5 points of winning. So we've got a great landscape to go out and play offense, not defense, but offense, to flip those seats into our column. And on top of that, we had an historic demographic shift in the election cycle.
I don't trust him either, but he is still doing work under Trump, and he's going to have to utilize all the momentum that Trump is giving him. So while I don't trust the guy either, let's hope that he's able to carry a lot of this out.
We all saw it happening. We had a record number of Hispanic and Latino voters, Black and African-American voters, Jewish voters, union workers, all these groups that had not traditionally been in the Republican Party, but on the sheer force of Donald Trump's persona, they came into the party, and they're going to be with us for quite some time, because now we have a once in a generation.
Oh, Trump's out here. Here we go.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Wow. This is some crowd.
Hey, Tiger's with him. Hell yeah. We got Tiger Woods.
Thank you, Leo.
Let's go.
This is some crowd. These are the best people, Tiger. And we have Adam Scott here also, winner of the Masters, one of the greatest golfers in the world.
It's like a rock concert,
I've
man.
always tried to swing just like Adam. It never worked out that way. And Tiger, we know, and I just want to thank Adam and Tiger and the commissioner of golf. Jay, thank you very much for being here. Jay Monahan, head of the PGA, and we had some interesting discussions. But let me ask you, is there anybody like our Tiger? How are you? He's the great. Would you want to just say a couple of words, Tiger? He doesn't. He's much more comfortable. Tiger.
Hey, it's an honor to be here. It's an honor to be here with you, Mr. President, and to be honored here with all of you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Tiger. And I want to thank all of you very much for being here. Welcome to the White House, and we proudly celebrate Black History Month. How are you, darling? Today, we pay tribute to the generations of Black legends, champions, warriors, and patriots who helped drive our country forward to greatness. And you really are great people. What a great, nice group of... I have some people in front of me every once in a while with all the problems that are caused all over the world. They're not nice. They're not nice.
Even Trump makes this stuff funny. Black History Month.
And we're making it nice rapidly. So we're pleased to be joined in this really beautiful afternoon at the White House by hundreds of incredible members of the African American community. Many of whom are making history themselves, including one of the
Audio sucks all of a
greatest
sudden.
athletes of all time, who you just said hello, the man who matched Sam Snead's #1 record for the most PGA Tour wins ever, and a man who has 15 majors, and he's got a long way to go too. I was with him a week ago. We played. I think Adam, he's got some left, doesn't he? Huh? He's got a couple of majors left, maybe more than that.
But Tiger Woods, he's an incredible guy, and an incredible athlete, incredible player. Thank you for being with us, Tiger. Thank you very much. And he got the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which he proudly wore today. And it's we have Senator Tim Scott here. What do you think, Tim? You never got the Presidential Medal. Maybe someday. Maybe someday. You better believe it. And also, Adam, thank you very much. Adam is, as Tiger will tell you, one of the greatest players and one of the great modern players. And he had 32 wins worldwide and winning the Masters also. And he's something very special and a great representative of golfers and athletes. Thank you very much, Adam. Even though he doesn't quite come from our country, he sort of does, right? He's here a lot. He comes from another nice place like Australia, right? And they've been very good, very, very good to us. Jay, thank you very much. Appreciate it very much. We also have the head of Pfizer here, so I want to thank him. One of the great people, one of the great businessmen. Thank you, Albert.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
I want to congratulate our newly sworn in Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, Scott Turner. Come in. I got to say hello. Come on up here, Scott. I had Tim Scott pushing him so hard, you have no idea. I had no choice. Is that right, Tim? No, Scott is, I've known him a long time, and Scott's a real champion. Say a couple of words, Scott, please.
This is great.
Well, hello, everyone. Is everybody happy to be here together? Is everybody happy to be here together? Amen. Well, first of all, I want to thank President Trump for his confidence and appointing me to this position. I consider it a great honor and a great blessing. And I thank God for this, and I'm real humbled by it. And you can guarantee that every day that I'm going to lay it down for the people of America. As Senator Tim Scott, thank you for your leadership.
That's what Elon said to Ashley
really
St. Clair.
appreciate you, and for all of those who have gone before us, and those of you who have such a great voice today. Keep on speaking, keep on preaching for not just Black America, but for all America. And so we appreciate you, and my sister Brooke Rollins, and all of those here, Mr. President. We look forward to working with you, sir. Great agenda. We pray for you every day. God bless you, and thank you. God bless America. Thank you for President Trump. Thanks.
And I see we have a newly.
Not at all, Doc Hollywood.
Right? They just confirmed you.
Not at all.
You did it very nicely. Brooke Rollins, she's the Secretary of Agriculture. It's a big deal. That's great, Brooke. That was a good vote you had too, huh? She went through very easily, a little easier than some of our people, but they were all approved, every one of them. And today we just had Kash Patel approved. So, Brooke, congratulations. Secretary of Agriculture, that's big stuff, right? That's big. So you're going to do fantastically. And congratulations also to a really good friend of mine. He endorsed me early, and he was one of the best surrogates you could have. The surrogate is when you walk around and go on television shows and they go try and beat you up, but he beat them up.
Resolute is great.
They didn't have a chance against
Resolute's
Tim Scott,
great.
Senator Tim Scott from South Carolina. And he's now the longest serving Black United States Senator in the history of our country. I don't know. That's pretty good. He's going to be around for a long time, right? He just got married. Congratulations on that, too. Beautiful, beautiful wife. Thanks as well to Congressman John James. Where's John James? Is he here? Hi, John. How are you? It's a star, young star. I knew that 5 years ago, right, John? I sort of predicted it. And I'm proud to say that we now have more Black Republicans serving in the U.S. House than at any time since 1870. That's a long time, 1870. So thank you very much. And Scott, you're going to be fantastic. I'll tell you, you're going to do a great job. As you know, the Americans are going to be celebrating something very important coming up, our 250th anniversary, our nation's founding. And when we do, we're going to look forward to honoring the contributions of countless Black Americans who fought to win and protect and expand American freedom from the very, very beginning. And some of my good friends are here today, and I appreciate you being. I'm not going to call out your names because Tiger will get very bored. He'll say, this is a little boring. This is a little boring if we do that. But I want to thank you all for being here. You are our friends, and we appreciate this. You, McGee,
Listen to all this
you are my
energy.
friend.
Listen to this energy.
The last administration tried to reduce all of American history to a single year, 1619. But under our administration, we honor the indispensable role Black Americans have always played in the immortal cause of another date, 1776. We like 1776. In the very skirmish of the Revolutionary War at Lexington Green, an enslaved Black man named Prince Estabrook, you know Prince Estabrook? Yeah. Answered history's call and fought as the Minutemen alongside the other patriots of the very small Massachusetts town. Couldn't protect itself, but they did a good job. Prince was wounded in the early morning battle, becoming not only the first African-American soldier to fight in the Revolution, but among the very first Americans to spill their blood. One of the first in the nation to spill blood in that very, very tough time. Soon Estabrook joined the Continental Army and ultimately won his own freedom along with that of his fellow Americans. His legacy will endure, and we're very proud to honor him today. It's a very important day in our country, and we honor him. First person to spill blood happened to be Tim Estabrook. Today, I'm pleased to announce that we will be including the statue of Prince Estabrook in our new National Garden of American Heroes. We're going to be doing a garden of American heroes. And now that I think of it, I must tell you, sadly, most of them, I guess all of them are not with us any longer. I was going to put Tiger in the garden, but maybe you don't want to be there. I maybe should wait a little bit, huh? Like about 50, I think I'm going to wait about 50 years, all right? But Tiger's going to make it, okay? But I'm a little afraid to tell him yes, because he'd be the only one that's living. I don't know, Tiger. Tiger's rejecting that offer, right? Under the executive order I signed last month, this new beautiful outdoor statue park. It's going to be a statue park. It's going to be unbelievable. We're picking the final sites now. It's between various states that want it very badly. We'll honor hundreds of our greatest Americans to ever live, including countless Black Americans, icons. The garden will predominantly feature incredible women like Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks, Billie Holiday, Aretha Franklin, and Coretta Scott King. And I will showcase it will be something very extraordinary. It's going to be producing, we're going to produce some of the most beautiful works of art in the form of a statue from men like Frederick Douglass, Booker T. Washington, Jackie Robinson, what a great athlete that was, Martin Luther King Jr., Muhammad Ali, he's not a bad athlete. What do you think? Not too bad. And the late Kobe Bryant. People love Kobe Bryant. And we're going to save Tiger Woods for another time. That's all that I can. I'm sorry. During Black History Month, we pay tribute to these heroes, and so that's not simply because they're Black heroes, but also because they are truly American heroes who inspire all of us, very much so. The theme of this year's celebration is African Americans and labor, and we want to thank all of the Black workers, construction workers, and every other worker. They do a job like nobody can do, and we want to just thank them very much for their contribution. Tim, the contribution you've made, Tim, is incredible. Opportunity Zone, so many people, he's the father of Opportunity Zone. I'm just the son, he's the father, because he came into the White House, the Oval Office, with this idea, and it's probably the #1 economic development project ever in our country, and I want to give Senator Tim Scott the credit for it. Good job, Tim. Of course, millions of Blacks were first brought here in slavery, and they were kept in that evil condition for really generations. But because of the steadfast faith and courage of so many patriots of all colors, we abolished that horrific institution, expanded civil rights, and advanced America's destiny as one nation under God, with liberty and justice for all. Just a few months ago, the people in this room and millions of other Black Americans played their own part in the American story when you went to the voting booths and restored a nice, good, solid government. And there's a guy that really helped. There's a man that really helped. You really are great. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I don't forget. I'm proud to say that we received, listen to this, more votes from Black Americans than any Republican president ever. Not even close. Almost 40% of the vote. Now, I won't be happy the next time. Should I run again? You tell me.
Yeah.
There's your controversy right there. There's your controversy.
Yeah. This man is working a room full of Black people, and the media can't say anything about
You'll
it.
be seeing that you're gonna see that tonight, Tim, on television. I want to thank just a few of the people who are with us today, and these are great friends of ours. Alveda King. Alveda, where are you, Alveda? Hi, Alveda. Thank you. You've been with me from day one, and I appreciate it. I won't forget it. She's a fantastic woman. Alice, where's Alice? Boy, are you incredible. I watched you on last night on television. You were so good. You know, Alice was in prison for doing something that today probably wouldn't even be prosecuted. She spent 22 years in prison, 22 years. She had another 22 years left. Can you believe it? And I pardoned her, and it was one of the best pardons. One of the best pardons. You know what she was on? She happened to be on the wrong telephone line. Is that true? She was on a telephone call, and I'm not saying it was perfect, but it wasn't worth 40 or 50 years, Alice. And you've been an inspiration to people. And we're going to be listening to your recommendation on pardons. You're going to go over, and she's going to be czar, okay? And you're going to find people just like you that should not have happened. It should happen. So you're going to look and you're going to make recommendations, and I'll follow those recommendations, okay, for pardons, all right? Thank you very much. A man who's just incredible. This guy, I watched him when he was a Democrat, and then one day he had to change because he couldn't take it any longer. And did anyone ever hear of a man named Leo 2.0 Terrell? Where are you? Get up here. I love this guy. You know what he's doing now? He's with the Department of Justice. He's in charge of civil rights and lots of other great things. He's going to be working with Pam. It's okay. Could he come up, please? Come on, Leo. Get up here. Leo 2.0. This guy is great. Hello.
I just want to say we are in the presence of the greatest president of all time. He is the greatest president in our lifetime. And I'll tell you right now, the Democratic Party should be a worry because they took us for granted. No longer. We vote in our best interest. We want the same thing that every American wants. Good job. We want a secure border. We want to pay lower taxes, and Mr. President Donald Trump is doing that. Thank you, Mr. President.
Let's go. Hell yeah.
He's a great guy. No, I watched him. He was a radical Democrat. He became a radical Republican, right? He's great. He's in the Department of Justice. Think of it, doing very important work at highest level. Also, Sage Steele. Sage, where are you? Hello,
great.
Sage.
He's great.
Great job you're doing great. Thank you very much, Sage, for being here. Michael, Harry O. Harris. Michael. Hi, Michael. Thank you very much, Michael. Deontay Johnson. Deontay. Thank you, Deontay. Lynn Patton. She's worked for me for a long time. Lynn, she's worked for us for a long time. Bob Woodson. Where's Bob? And we're also joined by 7-time Mr. Olympia. I want to see this guy. Phil Heath. Where's Phil? Phil Heath. I don't want to compare my muscles. Here he is. Thank you, Phil, very much. I appreciate it. will you come up here for a second? Come on, get up. I got to say, come on, you. From day one, right? From day one, he's been here. Get up. You got to say just a word. If you fall, it's all over. Tiger, you're not allowed to fall. You know, you can make a great speech, but if you fall going up, that's no good. Come on.
Wow. Are you kidding me? Mr. President, it has been an honor of a lifetime to support you, to try to wake up as many people to the lies of the Democrat Party and the nonstop manipulation of the mainstream media. That's why I now have my show on Newsmax, so I can champion you. And I'm thankful that we've been able to champion him and get him across the finish line for another amazing 4 years. And let me say, I know God has chose you. He anointed you for this position. He kept you alive so you could be here today. And we prayed for that. We pray for you. We continue to pray for you. And we're thankful for your service and your sacrifice. Mr. President Donald J. Trump, honor. God bless you.
From day one. I like those guys from day one. Tiger's been there from day one, too. Let me tell you, this guy is amazing. In 4 weeks, our new administration has achieved more than most administrations achieve in 4 years. We brought our country back. It's 4 weeks. Today is our 4th week. It's the end of the week. We are now starting our 5th, and I think we've done more in 4 weeks. Well, certainly than the last administration did in 4 years. They actually went negative. They actually went in the wrong direction. Together, we're going to be fighting long and hard for Black Americans and all Americans. We're going to be fighting for all Americans. We've secured our border, and we're stopping the invasion of our country. You know, our border right now is more secure than it's ever been. And we had the record 4 years ago. We had the record. We had the lowest number in history, and now the numbers, Tim, are even lower than they were then. And we're honored. We're allowing people to come in from all over the world, from prisons and jails, mental institutions, insane asylums, gang members. They had drug dealers. They had everybody dropping in. And we had this ridiculous open border policy. They drop in. And I'll tell you, the people that were affected the most were Black people. You were affected the most in terms of the crime, in terms of the drugs and everything else. And we have the border shut down. We allow people to come in. We want people to come in, Tim, but we want them to come in legally. They're going to come through. So we're protecting American workers, including millions of Black workers. And we have a thing called reciprocal tariffs. If they charge us, we charge them. This is opening up. We just signed the bill, and we're going to take in billions and billions of dollars, and we're making our country very healthy again and very rich again. We want to be very rich again. We've been taken advantage by everybody. And you've been watching Doge, where we've where we found billions, tens of billions of dollars of fraud and waste and abuse, and that's just the beginning. And Elon Musk has done an amazing job. I have to tell you, him and his super geniuses. You know, these are seriously high IQ people. And nobody's going to talk them out of anything. They go in and they're finding billions. I mean, literally tens of billions of dollars that we just started. And I think that's going to have a big, big impact, Brooke, right? So we want to just really say, and I have to say to you, I look at this turnout, I look at the love in the room. This is just love in the room. And I remember the first time I did this, my first administration, one of my first meetings. There wasn't this large a crowd, Tiger. We had about 5 people in the front. We had maybe five Black people right in the front, right about there. I said, is anybody else coming? Is this it? Open? I don't even think Tim Scott, I know Turner wasn't there. I don't think Tim Scott was there either. I'm not sure. But that's all changed. And we got the highest vote. And one of the big reasons I'm president today is because of the Black vote. And I just, and I always appreciate it. So this is a very special time. It's Black History Month. We love you all. We're going to work with you. We're going to make America greater than ever before. We're going to do it together. I want to thank you all for being here. It's an incredible honor. And to my great golfing friends, I want to thank them in particular because they really are. They make a lot of money. They don't have to be up here with me. Tiger doesn't have to be here. Adam doesn't have to. They don't need this. But They love you and they love our country. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you.
There was a ton of energy in that room. There was a ton. That was far more entertaining than I thought it was going to be. That was great. And it did remind me of a great moment from President Trump right here. If you guys remember this one right here, here we go. Here we go.
When I say that, when we have a protester inside, which isn't even very often, I say, be very gentle. Please don't hurt him. We had a case where we had an African-American guy who was a fan of mine. Great fan, great guy. In fact, I want to find out what's going on with him. You know what I'm, look at my African-American over here. Look at him. Are you the greatest? You know what I'm talking about? Okay. So we have an African-American.
That was Donald Trump.
Great guy. In fact, great fan, great guy. In fact, I want to find out what's going on with him. You know what I'm, look at my African-American over here. Look at him. Are you the greatest? You know what I'm talking about? Okay. So we have an African-American.
That was Donald Trump during a campaign rally in California earlier, giving a shout out to a black audience member he referred to as my African-American.
Woo! You got to love it. I love it so much. So Trump for the win. And I just tweeted this out right here. Trump 2028. Keep America great. Let's go. This is, I think this is going to happen. I think Trump's going to figure out a way to make this happen. Somebody tweeted and said, legally, that's not possible. And I was like, no, it's necessary, because it is necessary. You can say it's not possible all you want, but it's necessary. And that's what we're going to have to focus in on. But Trump 2028, baby, let's make it happen. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But either way, good stuff indeed. And I'm looking forward to it. So that was fun. That was a fun speech from Trump. I was kind of cringing at just like the whole Black History Month thing, but Trump made it fun. And there was a ton of energy in that room. And the booing of the Pfizer CEO was freaking great. Do we have that? Let's see here. Here we go. This right here was awesome. Here we go.
We also have the head of Pfizer here, so I want to thank him. One of the great people, one of the great businessmen. Thank you, Albert. Thank you.
Trump was even laughing about it. Trump was like, oh shit.
Businessmen. Thank you, Albert. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I want to congratulate our new.
He moved past that one real quick. Woo! That was great right there. So yeah, that was fun though. That was fun. So Trump 2028 is happening. Let me refresh right here. Trump 2028 is happening. I think it's going to happen. We'll see. Got that one. Boomy Bob says, hey, had to fully commit to the bit that you liked it. I went and watched G.I. Joe Resolute afterwards. G.I. Joe Resolute is very good. The ending is a little weak, but the rest of the movie is fantastic. The Snake Eyes Storm Shadow stuff is awesome. Jim Watari says, I just heard that Taboo Season 2 is actually filming and will be out this year. What's up, Jim? Thank you for the $20, sir. Appreciate that. Doc Hollywood says, Jeremy, it's been more than an hour since my last super chat. Are you tired of winning yet? It's so awesome to have a president who actually does what he promised and to do during the campaign. Have a good one, brother. Thank you, Doc Hollywood. I appreciate it, brother. I am not. I am so excited for the future. I'm so excited for everything we have going on. It is great. I love seeing it. Dark Helmet says, enjoy some cash. Andrew says, all eyes on Chris Wray after the 50 FBI agents that testified on the dossier. They are going to flee the country. Let's stop them. That was a coup. Dark Meat Collins says, past slaves love the country more than the current left. BC Man says, and they still call him a racist. Prenon Corp says, he ain't just whistling Dixie. The chat says, Jeremy, sometimes could you please do a video on the Attitude Era? You keep talking about it. I'm serious. I'd really like to see it, and it would be very informative. Yeah, I probably could. I mean, it really is like, I don't know if you watched wrestling, so I would have to approach it from a person's perspective that didn't watch wrestling, and how Stone Cold Steve Austin single-handedly changed the entire culture of wrestling, which basically he brought in the current culture into the professional wrestling world, but he gave everyone a voice. And then he was such a cultural icon that it continued to bleed out into the world. And it fundamentally changed the entire business. And that's what Trump has done from a political standpoint. Trump has essentially ushered in this new cultural shift. And that's what Stone Cold Steve Austin did to the wrestling business back in the day. It was awesome. Bret Hart did it first. I mean, Bret Hart is the greatest technical wrestler of all time. And Bret Hart is, I mean, you can't say a bad thing about him. Bret Hart had a lot to do with the rise of Stone Cold Steve Austin from a creative standpoint. He actually was pushing for Stone Cold. But without Steve Austin, it doesn't happen. You had to have that guy. Without Steve Austin, it doesn't happen. He was the right person at the right time, who cut the right promos. He had the right look. He had the right voice. He had the right feel and vibe, and it was authentic. So the Powell brothers says, someone should tell Trump that Jeremy has 3 black friends and is black from the waist down. I know. Someone should let him know. Alabama Griggs says 6'3", 215. Death Wishes, first time super chatting because I usually don't watch live. Well, thank you. We appreciate that. Appreciate it. Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying the show. NDI says, I didn't know Trump got invited to the cookout. Every year, baby. Andrew Sierra says, I love black men. Donald J. Trump. I got to find that clip and put that as one of the sound bites. That should, if somebody can find that clip of Trump saying that and send that to my DMs, I want to make that one of the clips. Benham says, could you share the sauce on JG Wentworth AI video? Benny Johnson tweeted it out. So Benny Johnson, that's where I got it from. Grand Potato says, Trump straight out of Mar-a-Lago. Johnny the Whiz-Kid says, I lost 2,100 on Poly Market. I bet Mitch McConnell would vote no on cash like he did on all the other Trump picks. He surprised me, but now I'm dejected. I have no more overtime to earn back. You got to be careful with that, man. Gambling all of your money is not a very smart move. So you should not do that. So don't do that again. I would not recommend it anyway. Obviously, you can do whatever you want with your money, but if I was to recommend, I would say don't do that. John Roberts says, if the U.S. Constitution is amended to allow Trump a third term, it will be the 28th Amendment. Let's fucking go Trump 2028. I'm all about Trump 2028. I'm all about it. It has to happen. I'm all for it. And I think Trump wants it to happen, and he keeps saying it because he wants it to happen. He's speaking it into existence. That's what he's doing. He's doing that for a reason. So let me see if there's any more updates before we call this a day. And I might go live again tonight. Let's see here. I'm interested to see, like, when is cash going to be oh, here's Alina Haba just said this. Hang on. Alina Haba.
And it happens to be tax season, so everybody's filing their taxes, going, if I don't pay the correct amount or miss a couple cents, they'll threaten to throw me in prison. And now's a great time.
Well, don't worry, we're firing a bunch of the IRS today, so don't worry.
Yeah!
That was the stuff that they did, and America didn't like it.
And it happens to be tax season, so everybody's filing their taxes, going, if I don't pay the correct amount or miss a couple cents, they'll threaten to throw me in prison. And now's a great time.
Well, don't worry, we're firing a bunch of the IRS today, so don't worry.
Yes,
That's great. You know, but that was the stuff that they did, and America didn't like it.
And it happened.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Somebody said no third term. Obama would run again, and a lot of retards would vote for him. They would basically have to run it. The way that they could probably work this in is that allowing Trump to have consecutive terms. So if you can't have more than 2 consecutive terms, that's the way that I think they can justify it without opening up a can of worms for anyone else that's previously had their 2 terms. So that's it. That's all they have to do. So you can't run unless if you've already had 2 consecutive terms. So that's the way I think that they would approach it if they were going to go down that road. Let's see here. Still allows the Obama scenario? No, it doesn't. No, if you've had 2 consecutive terms, you can't run. That's the whole point behind it. Once you've had 2 consecutive terms, you can't run again. That's the point. So that would count Obama out. So that gets Obama out of the equation. Like the bottom line is they wouldn't even be in this situation if they wouldn't have stolen 2020. That's the whole problem. Like you're still trying, like the idea of playing by the rules is what got us in this mess to begin with. You got to fight fire with fire. And we all know what they're going to try to do. So fight fire with fire. That's my attitude. Don't see any new updates. So I think we're going to call it there. We've had a good stream today, and I might go live again tonight. We do have the hockey game tonight, so that's going to be exciting. So I'm going to check that out. We also have a local stream tonight. So for our locals members, I know that they're going to be watching a movie over there. Project Taco says, voted for Trump and got deported, but I'm back and still based AF. What? Did you really? I don't think you did. Lord Voldemort says, the Constitution says a president can't have more than 2 terms, period, whether consecutive or not. Oh, I know what it says. I know what it says, but we'll figure something out. Trump 28, baby. I'm all for it. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. This has been an awesome stream. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for everybody on Rumble. And huge turnout today. We had like 5,500 people. The stream, the channel just keeps growing. If you're new here, please subscribe. If you're interested, greatly do appreciate it. And yeah, I mean, this is, this show and this channel just continue to elevate, and it's all because of the people. It's, everything. This show is run by the people, and I'm really appreciative of all of you. So thank you so much. Darian Murphy says, did you see Sheriff Joe release the findings saying Obama birth certificate is fake? I verified this as well. It's 100%. It's fake 100%. No, but you can DM me the details on that. I haven't seen anything about that, but I'll check it out. Let's see. Sebastian says, Jeremy, you're becoming a Trump bandwagon poster. If I'm becoming that, then you haven't been paying attention, because most people just say Jeremy's too far gone into his love for Trump. If my love for Trump is a problem, then that's a problem I will continue to embrace, because my love for Trump is because I love my country and I hate what it's become. So I will not apologize for being an overly enthusiastic Trump supporter at all. Because I was right the whole time. There were many people that rode the fence all through the process because for whatever reason. So I don't take any of the criticism of me being too pro-Trump. I take that as a compliment, because you see the result of Donald Trump in office right now, which is everything I've been fighting for. So none of that stuff affects me at all. When people try to claim that I'm too much of a Trump fan, I don't give a fuck what anybody fucking says. The reality of the situation is this Trump presidency is the most historic thing that we have ever lived through in politics. And it's all because of everything that I said we needed. And if that's a bad thing from your perspective towards me, that's fine. I don't apologize for shit. Go fuck yourself. We have to make America great again. We can't apologize. We can't compromise. And your feelings mean absolutely nothing to me at all. I'm not here for your feelings. I'm here to help make America great again. And the only way for that to happen is to support Donald Trump moving forward. Fuck your feelings. There you go. You guys have a great day, and we will talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.